You're up and it's still dark. Kick back with a cup of joe. You know you've got friends waiting on 1620 The Zone. It's Happer and Schaefer. It's Connor and Mike. Listen on the radio stream or YouTube or podcasts. Anytime it feels right. It's Happer and Schaefer. Happer and Schaefer.
All right, well, welcome in. Happy Friday. It's Happer and Schaefer here on 1620 The Zone. 1620thezone.com, the Zone mobile app, the 1620 The Zone radio network. Good morning to our fine listeners in central Nebraska as well. Good morning to you, gentlemen in this room. Mike Schaefer, Joey Colbert. Hi.
Hello. Good morning.
How we doing?
It's Friday. We doing?
Oh, it sounds like you were really forced that one, Joey.
It's almost the weekend. Everybody's excited.
Do you believe him?
I don't think so. It feels a little put on. You know? Like, does Joey actually want to be here with us right now?
I bet he's pretty excited about watching Baylor Shireman go off last night.
Yeah, he went 6 for 7 from beyond the arc.
20
Despite his efforts, the Celtics still lose to the New York Knicks, but that's okay. They just need to win one more game, and they got the terrible Pelicans tonight.
So what do they need to win one more game for?
Just to get the 2 seed.
Okay.
Because right now it's either them or the New York
What's the
Knicks.
difference between the 2 and the 3 in terms of, like, the first round?
Yeah, who do they get if they're the 2? Well, I guess you wouldn't know because it's a play-in, right?
Oh,
well, the 3 seed plays the 6 seed, the 2 seed plays a play-in, the winner of the 7-8 game, but it could be literally 5 teams.
Right.
I think it's down to the Hawks, the Raptors,
so
the
who would
Hornets.
the 6 be? Like, who do you want to avoid there? Is it potentially Charlotte? Could Charlotte be the 6?
Charlotte has a good chance of playing for the 8 seed. Looking at their schedule, they have to play the Pistons. I think they have to play the New York Knicks tonight, and then I'm trying to remember who they have for their last game. But they got a tough end of season.
The 6 is currently the Hawks, so they're the team above the play-in right now. But they are literally tied with the Toronto Raptors. Each of the 4 teams in front of them.
Okay.
I'm kind of hoping for the
Raptors.
I kind of don't want to see the 76ers or the Hornets, but at this point, you're going to be playing a tough stretch of games to get to the NBA Finals.
Joey, it'd be hard for me to imagine Boston losing to any of the teams that they potentially would play in the first round. Just so you know.
I know.
You may be worried about nothing.
I know. I'm just worried about a very long series, and just hopefully Tatum holds up.
Okay.
Me examining the Eastern Conference for the first time ever.
Same. I have analysis, though.
Detroit is the one?
Cade
Cunningham?
I learned about this several weeks ago.
So Cade Cunningham is good?
Yes.
He is good. He's been out for a while with the collapsed lung. He should be returning for the start of the playoffs, but yeah, the team's holding up their stand of the bargain.
Okay.
I got to see the Pistons last season when they host the Celtics.
Have you ever heard of Jalen Duren?
Yep.
No.
That's a guy.
We could definitely do the Shaq thing where you ask me
who he played for.
Yeah, I mean that, or even is this a real NBA player, or is it
at all?
Is it a generated 2K player?
That'd be funny. I wouldn't be able to come up with anybody, but yeah, I guess so. They're the Pistons' leading scorers. Are you ready for this? So this is the top seed in the East.
Okay.
The Pistons' top players according to points per game: Cade Cunningham.
I know him.
Jalen Duren.
Don't know him.
Okay. Tobias Harris.
Know him.
Yep.
Duncan Robinson.
Know him.
I don't like that guy.
Isaiah Stewart.
I feel like I know who that is.
He's the guy that tried to attack LeBron James a few years back. Well, he was held back, and he ran from one court to the other to get to LeBron James. You have to see the Pistons Lakers brawl.
I feel like he's been he's been on a few different teams, right? Isaiah Stewart.
I think he was on a few different teams, but he's been on the Pistons for several years now.
Okay. I might be thinking of somebody else. All right.
I could take a look.
Yeah, I'm not sure about his history. And then you have here's my favorite one because I have a story about him.
Oh, he's been in the Pistons.
Asar Thompson.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so his brother, him and Amen, whatever, Thompson, they did the thing where like they didn't want to play in college and
G League or
did the
whatever?
whole skirt around deal. So one of the things they did was a couple of years ago, the TBT in the summer, that they do. So
The basketball tournament.
they were on one of those teams
Okay.
as 18-year-olds, I'm
Sure.
pretty sure, and they played here at DJ Sokol Arena against a team that was made up of like former Creighton players
Sure.
from 8 years ago.
That was like a big deal for a couple minutes.
It was hilarious because these kids, like, they were clearly the most athletic. I mean, I can't remember which of the brothers it was, Amen or Asor, but they threw down one of the most absurd dunks that I've ever seen, and they weren't very refined skill wise,
Sure.
obviously, but clearly I was like, oh
Just
yeah, those guys are
athletes.
going to the NBA.
Yeah.
And they were playing against like 28-year-old former Creighton players. It was hilarious. What a time to be alive that was. Anyway,
Is the TBT still like a thing?
it happens. The Creighton team went away, and the Nebraska team there was 1 year where there was a Nebraska team, right?
Yeah, very, very brief year, and I couldn't even tell you who was really on. It was like it wasn't all just Nebraska players.
Right, and that's the same
two
it was
of
for the
them were
Creighton team
Nebraska
too.
players, essentially. Yeah, when the first inception of that, there was like it felt like every college had one or two teams. You'd have like a Syracuse team, you'd have, all of that. It was like mildly interesting, and then I don't think I ever watched it again.
That's okay. That's probably.
I feel like that's probably the right way to.
If Creighton and Nebraska got teams together again and they wanted to let it rip again, I think that'd be fun, and I would definitely pay attention to it if it was during the right time in July, but because that's usually when they do it.
Right. Well, I'm trying to think of like when's the wrong time in July.
Right. I guess any time in July, just not the day of the MLB All-Star game.
Make the commitment that you actually want to pay attention to it.
Yeah, and by pay attention, I mean that obviously very loosely, but
Sure. I didn't mean that you'd be a super fan like I once was of the Arizona Hotshots in the AFL.
That's funny.
Not AFL. What was it?
UFL.
UFL. Yeah,
that league's still going.
Yeah, it's still going.
Whatever one. Like,
OKC's got an expansion team.
The AAFL or something like that. The All-American Football League, was that a thing?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
What are the Arizona
that was the one that changed to the UFL.
You're talking about the Alliance Football League?
Yes. Isn't that what the UFL is now?
Yeah, basically they merged with the XFL.
The XFL, yeah. They just took in some XFL teams and they made the UFL. So yes, the AAFL is now the U.
That should be starting soon.
It basically exists.
Oh, wait,
I don't know.
It already started. Never mind.
I don't know if
Yeah,
your
they were in the
Hotshots.
Alliance. They did not survive
Yeah.
whatever the merger is, but the Arizona Hotshots, what a year.
Fun. Also, Kevin Herter is on the Pistons.
Oh, okay. I know him.
Big Ten honk.
Familiar with him. He used to be like mildly good at basketball,
He is. He's pretty good.
but he's like the eighth guy you mentioned.
Yeah.
That's not that.
He's only
Well, I
played
mean, he's in
23
the
games.
NBA.
Well,
He was just traded.
Relative to people who play basketball, he is very talented. Relative to a guy who was like a double-digit scorer early in his NBA career, right?
That I'm not so sure about.
I thought he was pretty good when he was with like the Kings. Maybe he was
Yeah,
just
when he
empty
started with the
stats.
he was averaging about
and then with the Hawks.
Yeah, he started with the Hawks. He averaged around 12 points a game during his first 4 seasons over there, and then when he was on the Kings, his first season he averaged 15, which was his career high.
There you go. You're right, Schaefer.
The only reason I remember this is I recall him being like a pretty good player for the
Maryland
Terps.
Terrapins.
And then would just like sort of see him with Trae Young for those Hawks teams.
All rookie second team 2019.
Yeah. No, he's a decent player.
Kevin Herter.
I mean, he's averaging 8, so it's not like he's
Making white guys with red hair look good all across the country. All right. Welcome to a Friday show, everybody. We are pleased that you have decided to join us. Coming up today, we have most of our Friday. Oh, well, I guess all of our Friday festivities coming up. Friday shout outs. Get the Friday shout outs in. Coming up at 8:45. That's right. This is now you guys did it last week,
Yeah.
right? We didn't
Yeah,
forget.
we did.
Nope.
The
Didn't
only
forget.
reason we would ever forget
We
is
did
because
all
I'm
of the
here.
normal stuff we do on Fridays.
Tremendous. By the way, the only reason we would ever forget about anything is because I would forget. So
No,
that makes
that's
sense.
not
that,
true.
Yeah,
that you guys did it.
It would make sense.
See, Joey tells it to me straight.
Connor
Schaefer's trying
tends
to
to forget.
Yeah, Schaefer's trying to
We forget to do
soften the blow
some
of my
things.
feelings.
Connor
There's
forgets
stuff that I'm
topics.
sure I forgot in the 3 times that there's been shows without you.
No, we're talking about my forgetfulness.
Oh, okay.
Connor's forgetfulness is segments. Your forgetfulness is turning on your microphone, and then
Thank you, Joey. Keep telling us how it is. This is
then
we
I'm
need,
You're not
trying
wrong. I'm
trying
waiting
to forget what
for-
I forget.
we need to hear these things.
I forget what I forget.
Joey, I don't think you forget stuff. People don't forget. And that
I think I
people is
forget
Joey.
what I forget.
Yeah, I was gonna say many people forget. Then there's Joey.
Get you in your Friday shout outs. I'd like to shout out Joey for not forgetting.
Yeah.
That's my first one. And we'll open that up at 8:45 today. Our city of the day will be revealed in just a little bit, coming up at 6:45. And we'll check in with our dear friend Jake Sorensen at 9:15 or 20 this morning.
Are the Royals winning the World Series? Find out.
I doubt it anymore. Jake, I mean,
He did not handle the Guardian series well.
oh, we can say this at the beginning of every year, and we certainly do. But then you have to live it, right? You have to go actually through it. And what we say before every year is the truth, and it is the Royals will score no runs in the month of April. They will go at least 5 games under 500 in the month of April, and then they'll just gradually climb and climb and climb and climb. And we'll see where it ends up in about August. And then you might wake up in August and say, oh my God, I think they're kind of in the playoff hunt here. What's going on? Or they didn't make it back far enough. But there is a certainty and a surety that April will be their worst month of the year. They will be able to score no runs in this month. And we're living it. We're experiencing it right now. I watched them get shut out by the White Sox last night. The White Sox!
There's something that has occurred already this baseball season that I didn't think that we would see at all, and that is the Minnesota Twins are over 500.
Yeah,
They felt like
that ain't lasting very long.
the Twins and the Rockies were basically the 2 teams that everyone was like,
Yeah, Rock
those might be the
April.
worst 2 in baseball.
They're playing some good ball.
Surprisingly, I mean, the Twins swept the Tigers, which is just remarkable, and that comes off of beating Framber Valdez and
See,
Struble.
that stuff I don't care about because that stuff is just like that'll play itself
It'll
out.
even itself out.
Yeah.
What I'm saying
Like, those
is,
teams
at
are
no
definitely going to
point,
suck.
if you would have been like, you have to make the bet, will the Twins ever be over 500 at any point in the season?
Oh, I would have said yes.
Oh, I would have said no.
For like exactly
Teams that
this
are
moment.
historically bad do not get over 500. The Twins were expecting to be that.
10 games.
Yeah, no, I get it.
That would have been my bet that they would have done
I'm
it.
saying that, I mean, you can go look at like the Rockies last year, started like 2-20.
Yeah, but there's been some historically
That's
bad
what the
teams who have
like the expectation.
who were 1-0.
Yeah, wouldn't have bet it. Would not have bet it.
Wow. Okay. Anyway, that stuff will even itself out.
Yeah.
That stuff will be
They're
fine.
still going to finish 40 games.
This is an every year thing. You could set your alarm clock.
It doesn't
to
make
it.
any sense either because it's different players, different coaches, different. I mean, it's
I know.
Nebraska football almost.
It's
How
inside
are
of
you here?
it's inside of the DNA of the Kansas City Royals. We just don't work in April. It doesn't happen for us. You could have half your team go to the World Baseball Classic and be great. Vinny Pasquantino leads his team to the semifinals, and now he can't hit. That's it. But it would be different if it didn't happen every single year. If this was a one-off, if this was an anomaly, it is not. It is not. And so all of that is to say, I'm sure Jake will be in great spirits.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he actually might be in great spirits. But
Yeah.
Probably not for baseball reasons.
He'll be headed out Old Mountain Way.
He was saying he was going to be there.
Oh, well, maybe
He might already be.
maybe he
there.
he took a late night flight last
Yeah.
night.
Who knows with him?
Yeah, I never know where he is. So we will talk to Jake coming up at 9:15. That is our lineup today. We want to hear from you all, 402-951-1620 on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. You could call or text that number. You can tweet at Happen Schaefer, at Connor Happer, at Mike J. Schaefer, on the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed. Feel free to do that throughout the show. Thanks to Liquid Trucking for bringing us the Zone Twitter feed. You can email Connor, Mike, Joey at 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. And we say good morning to our YouTube streamers today. Hey, that's messed up. They're saying things that Mike forgets. And Mike says Mike forgets to show up on time. Also, Wes says Schaefer also forgets about his alarm clock.
Sad. It happened once.
It did. It happened once. We give breaks for things that happen once, right? But
well,
then if the Royals don't score runs in all of April, we don't give them breaks for that anymore. We don't like it when that happens. We do not like it. If the Twins win a series against the Detroit Tigers, we say, I
know. I'm like, whoa. I never saw this coming.
You're blown away by this.
Never saw it coming. They're still going to finish like 55 and 107.
Yeah, they are.
It's just that they've won 7 of those games already.
It just means their losing streak is going to be even more horrible when it happens.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It'll make for a more fun summer. All right, elsewhere today on the show, we have a couple Nebraska football topics that we'd like to throw your way. Actually, Schaefer has a Nebraska football topic that he wants to throw my way.
Yeah,
I'm excited about.
And by topic, it's literally throw names at you and see what you think about these players.
I'd love to react.
All right.
I'm a reactionary man. I like reacting to things. There was a bunch of City Connect jerseys that came out yesterday, or over the last 2 days, I suppose. We could take a look at those. Nebraska basketball gets a man out of the transfer portal, and his name is Orm.
Sam Orm.
That is a good name. He sounds like an alien.
Orm for 3.
Or a robot.
No.
Sam Orm.
It's spoken exactly like a robot. He does sound like a robot.
Sam Orm. My name is Sam Orm. I shoot 40% from 3. That's a good thing, folks. That's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
He's got some, would you say he's got some Samford qualities?
Yeah.
Is that the hope?
There's a lot of effort put into yesterday to try to make direct one-to-one comparisons of previous players.
See, this is what I was worried about.
Is definitely the way to go about this.
Yeah, this is what I was worried about. There was so much magic to this previous that Nebraska basketball team, and everybody's just going to try and recreate it exactly. And by everybody, I mean Nebraska fans. Like, okay, all right, who's the Burke replacement now? Who's the Price Sanford replacement? Who's the Jamarcus Lawrence replacement? We need a really muscular, tiny point guard.
This definitely
who's
isn't
the coach's son.
This isn't condensed to just this past season. It was last year. It was who's going to be the Bryce Williams, who's the Jawan Gary.
That's true.
It's because your brain only largely works into the team that you just watched, so everything has to be replaced in that.
Open your brain,
Who
folks.
was going to be the Keisei Tominaga? It was supposed to be Connor Esesian.
Yeah.
It wasn't Connor Esesian.
Nope, it wasn't. Open your brains, folks. But maybe there is some Price Sanford to Sam Orm's game.
You're an idiot.
Thank you, John Fanta. Appreciate it. On the Creighton side, looks like some good news is coming, although now it's just being teased and dangled in front of our faces. Ooh, gonna have to be quicker than that. With Hudson Greer and Jackson McAndrew, we will get into some of the portal happenings there. The Masters went on yesterday. Maybe the ceiling has just been busted through for Rory McIlroy. And
yeah, we'll have to see. It's always a Sunday thing for me with him. Yeah. Like the Thursday through Saturday is usually pretty good, and then it's like, where are we at on Sunday?
Okay, all right. Well, we'll find out. Maybe he's in the lead on Sunday. Also, there's a thing that's going on at college football stadiums this summer that I'm very jealous of. Not this college football stadium that we have here in the state of Nebraska.
No,
I'm very jealous of it, and
they turned it down, right?
I don't know. Maybe there was something about that.
There was discussion of it, and I feel like they turned it down.
Well, I listened to Trev Alberts talk about Lionel Messi this morning, and I was very intrigued.
I just like that I turned over, and it's like, I know that voice.
And why is he talking about an international soccer star?
That I didn't quite hear. And then you were like, you told me that, and it made less sense than just hearing him at random.
We will have that coming up today on the show as well. We'll also preview the weekend. Nebraska volleyball heads to the Pentagon. Everyone's going, right? The Pentagon is where everyone wants to be.
For basketball.
Oh, okay. Volleyball will be making an appearance this weekend and Nebraska baseball on the road at Oregon. They'll play a little earlier today. Is that right? Or is it a little later? 5 o'clock. Yeah, I would assume it's a little earlier. So 5 o'clock Central Time. Got that message passed down last night on the BTN Plus. So we'll see how good Oregon's students are at broadcasting all this afternoon and this weekend. All right. Off and running on a Friday. Thanks for being with us. Appreciate you. Hopefully you didn't wash away with the rainstorms yesterday in the metro. We're back after this on 1620 The Zone. Hey, speaking of college baseball this weekend, by the way, welcome back. Happer and Schaefer on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, the Zone Radio Network. This is the return. We have the return this weekend for a certain villain of the sport to his previous coaching stop. That would be now Texas head coach Jim Schlossnagle. Controversially leaving Texas A&M a couple of summers ago during, right after they got eliminated from the College World Series. And then like 6 hours before that saying, I'm not going to do that. And how dare you?
Championship series, right?
How dare you? How dare you ask that question? I believe it was the championship series. Yes.
Who were they playing? Florida? I think it was.
Actually, I don't think they made the championship series now that I think about it.
That's what it was.
You might be right. I don't know. All the College World Series finals just
it all blends together.
It all blends together for me. So he left, even though he said he wasn't going to leave, and then he left to Texas and tried to take some players, tried to take some staff members as well. Jim Schlossnagle in the Texas Longhorns travel back to Texas A&M this weekend for the first time since a couple summers ago. So if you want a rowdy college baseball environment, if you want a little P&V, peace and vinegar college baseball environment, you're going to get it tonight in College Station.
I am just looking at the quote that he had about just admonishing the reporter for
how dare you?
How dare you ask that?
How dare you?
Everything else just really bad.
So did you find out what the College World Series final was?
Yeah,
that year?
It was a 2024 College World Series final.
They were in the final.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
When they I think it was a game 3 after a game 3. I'd have to look for sure.
Okay. 24 CWS. All right, we could find it. We could get there. We got time. So Texas A&M lost to Tennessee that year, and yes, it would have been game 3. 6-5 was the third game. I do remember that. I remember the celebrations. I always remember the celebrations because Tony Vitello, the now manager of the San Francisco Giants, by the way, did you see the Tony Vitello clip yesterday?
Did he go after Keith Olbermann, who went after him?
No, but I remember. I'll tell you about it in a second. I remember Tony Vitello basically like taking laps around the stadium, just high-fiving everyone he could see, saying as many bad words as he possibly could, and he's great. He's hilarious.
You know who loves that guy is Alan Bell.
Yes, he does.
Fan.
Yes, he does, because he's a big Tennessee hunter.
Oh yeah.
All right, so now I don't know that I would enjoy being around him on a daily basis or anything like that. But when he comes here for a couple of weeks, I could put up with it. He's kind of funny. It's good. And he's a personality. So yesterday there was the clip of him and the bat boy in San Francisco got a little haywire, misplayed a ball down the line, and they immediately show Tony in the dugout, and he's hanging over the rail, and you can see him mouth, "We must have the worst bleeping bat boy in the league." And then he takes
ball boy. You mean like the ball boy down the line?
ball boy down the line, yeah. And then he pauses for a second and he goes, "Bleep me." Tony, why are you mad about this?
He must have been like misplaying multiple things to get that kind of reaction.
He must have. But I only saw the one misplay. It's like he was so mad about the ball boy screwing up.
Oh, that's incredible.
It was fantastic.
I love it.
It is out there right now. Okay, so like I said before, I am jealous of two things. And Thomas writes in on YouTube. He says, "Happer, you are one of 3 people who is disappointed by this." I think this is what he's talking about. So I've seen over the last 24 hours or so here that there has been a couple of college football stadiums that have announced that they are going to be hosting some World Cup tune-up matches, specifically with Argentina. So speaking of Texas A&M, Kyle Field is going to be hosting Argentina and Honduras on June 6th, and they're in a World Cup tune-up. And then Argentina will also play at Jordan-Hare Stadium, home of the Auburn Tigers War Eagle, on June 9th. They'll play Iceland. And then the World Cup starts like 2 days later obviously here in North America, I suppose. I don't know where Argentina is going to be stationed during that time, but they've decided to take a couple of tune-up matches at college football stadiums. And this just opens so many thoughts in my brain. Number one, first and foremost, and I don't think it's expected that Messi is going to like play in the World Cup, or he's going to be sort of limited in what he's going to. He's sort of, kind of like a figurehead at this point. But either way, I just imagine Messi stepping off of the plane in Auburn, Alabama, walking in Jordan-Hare Stadium and seeing a big eagle flying around or something. I don't know what they're going to do as like winks to Auburn, but I don't think you could get further away in terms of types of fans that you have go to these events than international soccer fans and SEC college football fans. And I'm just so fascinated to see what this is going to look like.
Yeah, well, I would anticipate there's probably not going to be that many SEC college football fans that make their way in relative to how many people.
You don't think so? I mean, these are.
I think there'll be the ones that have curiosity to go, but I think there will be a lot of people.
Obviously, they'll gobble up
representing their country that are going.
Of course, but a whole stadium full. I don't know, and then we're talking about 4 tune-up matches here. Yeah, so I imagine tickets won't be particularly difficult to come by at these 2 games.
Depends.
But like I think they'll be available is what I'm saying. And so locals are going to be there.
Well, speaking of relative locals with Argentina, their first match against Algeria is in Kansas City.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to mention. They're playing in there on the 16th of June.
So I was saying, and I feel like this was a few years ago, Nebraska was approached about this general idea of whether the stadium would be available for something like this. And they've been asked about it before, and Memorial Stadium just doesn't set up well to convert for soccer.
Did Jim Polan said no?
100% of what it is.
Did Jim Polan said no?
Jim Polan.
I don't know if it was a Jim Polan.
Good one, Joey. No, knowing Memorial Stadium and they obviously have some ongoing construction projects that they're sort of getting the details straightened out on and starting a little bit of work on right now. Also, yeah, just look at it. I don't think it converts to a soccer stadium very well.
Yeah, we'll see how it converts to a baseball stadium here.
That they don't care.
Because
if for the stupid idiotic bananas, if they have 195-foot walls in left field, they don't care.
Yeah,
it actually helps them. They're like, cool, let's hit 42 home runs, and maybe the fans in the outfield will catch it, and then it'll be an out. Let's do TikTok dances. Oh, it's the bottom of the 5th. Time to do TikTok dances.
You're an idiot.
I was unprepared for how much anger you have about this.
I'm not mad about it. It was just an excuse to go on a rant. But the Bananas don't care how big their field is.
That's fair.
I saw them play at Clemson, not like with my own eyes, but I saw like the videos of them when they played at Clemson, and the wall was like 200 feet. It was like a softball field.
Was it at least high? Did they like make a high wall for it?
No, it was just whatever wall they had.
Oh, wow.
They put a couple pads on it so dudes didn't get concussed when they smashed into a brick wall. But I am jealous.
Great.
I am jealous. It would be so hilarious to watch international soccer phenoms play a soccer game at Memorial Stadium with no stakes to it, obviously.
Right.
But I don't know that anybody shares this jealousy with me. But I saw it last night and I'm like, damn,
that'd be entertaining.
That looks kind of fun.
Like they'd fill the stadium. Like I have no doubt on that. But yeah, I would be fascinated how many people from Iceland make the trek to Auburn, Alabama.
What would they do when they got off the plane in Auburn?
Is Iceland even in the actual?
See, they probably just grabbed them. No, they probably just grabbed them. We're like,
qualified.
Come down and play us.
I think the Iceland golden generation of Iceland soccer players is on its way out.
Possibly the same thing with Honduras as well. They were just like, hey, come play us, and we'll be a body for us. They could have played the Auburn soccer team if they have one. I don't know. So Thomas writes in, he says, a variety of different things. Number one, he says, I hope no one goes. I need the U.S. to disband the men's teams and give all the funding to the women's team. And they would be overwhelmed by the sheer power of the troughs if they came to Memorial Stadium. That is true, but I'm sure there are some troughs to offer in Auburn and at Kyle Field.
Does Kyle Field have troughs?
I guarantee you.
You'd have to assume.
I wonder if Texas A&M would do their little war chant at midnight leading up to the.
They
to
can
that
have
game.
the yell
The rebel
leaders.
yell?
They can have
They
the
could do
yell
that.
leaders show up and
Leo
do
Messi yell leader?
Aggie. Boo, blah. Yeah, they could do all their stuff. They could wear their little rings,
Okay.
and then they could play international soccer friendlies.
My,
This is so weird.
my assumption with knowing absolutely nothing is that Argentina is one of the, like Spain, I'm assuming is the favorite. And then I'm guessing some level of Brazil and Germany and then France and then maybe Argentina. They might be like fifth.
I will tell you the World Cup odds
Yes, please do.
right now. Your favorite at plus 440 for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, Spain.
Yeah, that's
Good job.
That makes sense.
Seems like it makes sense.
France, plus
France.
500.
I had him in my top four.
Mbappe.
All right.
The French, England. Hello.
I would not have put England. in my top
Beans,
five.
plus
find a way to choke.
600.
Famously, England does not win the World Cup.
Argentina,
Fourth. Okay.
plus 750. Brazil, plus 750 in Germany, plus 11.
Okay, so England was the one which I wouldn't have included because what little I do know, they fail a lot
The US
Yes, it
and
is.
day, plus 550
to win a game.
to win the World Cup.
Plus 550. That can't be right.
5,500.
Yeah, that
Five,
That might be-
five,
I'm guessing
You
five,
said it.
Five-
I was like, all right, nope, nope.
5,550.
Yeah,
50,
yeah, yeah.
5,500.
That
That is
makes a lot more sense.
that is worse
Look, I'm
odds
going to be
than
honest here.
Colombia, Morocco, the
I don't
Netherlands,
follow United
Norway.
States soccer the way that I used to previously.
Oh yeah, we suck.
I would not make that bet. If they get out of the group stage, that seems like a nice win for them.
We suck.
So
They'll get out of the group stage. You got to be in the top two to get out of that, and I think the U.S. will. It's just I think they'll immediately get out of the.
Nothing
I'm
can
just
stop
willing
us-
to say that they'll get out of the group stage when 8 years ago they couldn't even qualify.
Nothing can stop us from being bad at soccer. So maybe we can at least enjoy the good soccer when
the
it's
thing is,
here.
they're not bad. They're just not good. They're like
I don't know. They seem
trying to
pretty
think of
bad.
a college football equivalent of it. They're a team that's never threatening but never terrible.
Are they never terrible? It seems like they're sometimes terrible.
The one time they've been terrible was the one time they didn't make the World Cup.
Where's the they're terrible guy, Joey? Where is he on here? Oh, there he is.
They're terrible.
That's what I say.
See, that would have made more sense in like 2017. And then they're okay since then. They're just not going to
They're
win.
terrible.
Debo says Mizzou. Is American soccer like Mizzou?
That's not a
They're
bad
terrible.
analogy.
I was thinking of Iowa,
Iowa, no, they're good. Iowa's good.
but they're never threatening
You're
to
an
the
idiot.
competitors.
I mean,
They're always threatening. They went undefeated that one time.
Ah,
no, they didn't go undefeated. They lost.
They went undefeated in the regular season.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the United
That
States.
was a threat.
The United States has won the Gold Cup before.
They
That's
were
like
an
the
inch.
same thing.
They were an inch away from winning the Big Ten title game and going to the national championship.
They were an inch away.
Yeah,
Was it
because
really an
LJ
inch?
Scott scored that touchdown in the Big Ten championship game.
LJ Scott. There's a name.
Yeah, he did it by this much, an inch.
Okay. All right.
that was an
Iowa.
all-time Gus Johnson call.
I pipe up for Iowa. All right, time to pipe up for another thing. It's our city of the day coming up next on 1620 The Zone.
We learned this city. We learned this city on Happen. Schaefer learned this city. We learned this city on Happen. Schaefer.
All right. Our city of the day. By the way, we should do this comment before we get to our city of the day. It's from Matthew. It says, you guys talk about golf and soccer, but never college wrestling. Well, there's a reason why, Matthew. Golf and soccer are better than college wrestling. Suck it.
The frame of reference I have for college wrestling was the season I covered in 2009.
Yeah.
So if you'd like Jordan Burroughs stories or, conversations about Craig
Mark
Bresser
Manning
or
seems cool.
Vince Jones. Mark Manning is very cool.
I like Mark Manning.
Yeah,
AJ Ferrari.
if we
I don't
were
know
gonna
what's going on with that guy.
If we were going to talk college wrestling, we would just call Mark Manning and have him come on as a guest, and he could talk college wrestling.
That would be awesome.
And
We should
could
actually do that.
We could look
Yes.
into that. Absolutely.
Still love you, he says. Thank you. But a little NU wrestling during the season wouldn't hurt. Well, the season's over, so try again next year. All right.
They had a portal edition, I think. I'll look this up. And
Okay.
We can drop that news later in the show.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. All right. Our city of the day is Augusta, Georgia. Augusta, Georgia, just so you know. Now, this is the first thing I always ask with cities. Where is it? Of course, it is in Georgia. It is east of the Atlanta metro area. Obviously, the reason we're doing this today is because of the Masters tournament going on this weekend. It's on basically near the Savannah River. So it's in that area, and it's just a very short drive outside of Columbia, South Carolina.
So it's almost a midpoint between Atlanta and Charleston, which is like kind of a diagonal line. Not really diagonal.
People go to
Median
Charleston,
diagonal.
people go to Atlanta,
Yeah.
people go to Augusta for one weekend a year, and they are there right now for some fantastic happenings going on at the Masters tournament. So population. Joey, do you have any guesses for population? I think Schaefer's looking at it right now.
Yeah,
I would.
I'm guessing about 100,000.
I would have guessed a lot smaller.
I would think a lot smaller, but I'm going to just be safe with 100,000 at the very most.
How does, as the 2020 census tell us, 202,000?
Yep.
Oh,
So,
wow.
double.
A metro of 600,000.
That is absurd. I
Yeah.
would have thought that this is a tiny little hideaway town.
There's a lot of people that live in this little like trapezoid of Atlanta, Charlotte.
Yeah, it
Myrtle
turns
Beach,
out like in
you know.
in other places, not Nebraska or like Iowa or Colorado, like you can have two decently big cities and there's stuff going on in between them.
There's clusters of population
Yeah.
and not just
There-
land.
there's kind of just people everywhere.
Well, it's more
which-
populous going east of here.
That is true. That is true. But there's a lot of nothing going on in Iowa, obviously, as
That's
well.
true.
Right on the Georgia-South Carolina border. That's not a band, by the way. That is the Florida-Georgia line.
The Carolina line.
The Georgia-South Carolina line is
What kind of music do they play? Ska?
I think they do parody country,
Okay, parody country.
you know,
Yeah.
something like
The
that.
Weird Al of country.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
And it has a lot of different things going on. Obviously, most notably the Masters. I was looking immediately at the minor league baseball team, the Augusta Green Jackets of the Carolina League, and then I thought about all the times in which I watched Carolina League baseball games. The Carolina League really got the shaft several years ago when
When
MILB
Manfred killed minor league.
yeah,
baseball.
when minor league baseball sort of reformed and reshaped itself. I've been to many Carolina Mudcats games. I have been to one Myrtle Beach Pelicans game.
Okay.
I saw Buck Showalter just walking around at a Myrtle Beach, and I go, "Dad, that's Buck Showalter." And he goes, "You know what? It is." And that was my experience at the Myrtle Beach Pelicans game. I got a really cool hat from the Beach Pelicans.
What's with you just seeing people walking around? Like, hey,
That's
there's
great.
Jamie Moyer.
That's a great
His son's
question.
going to play for Nebraska 7 years later.
I did not know that part. The Augusta Green Jackets, the single A affiliate of the Atlanta Braves, at this moment. Now, what were they before they became? This is a new. Okay. So after the 1987 season, the ownership of the Macon Pirates, disappointed with poor attendance, moved the team to Augusta, where they were known as the Augusta Pirates. And then they were in the South Atlanta League as the Pirates until 2020. The Giants took over the club's affiliation after the 2004. Oh, no. The Green Jackets were a part of the Red Sox organization. Prior to that, the Red Sox replaced the Pirates in Augusta. The Red Sox relationships with Augusta met with immediate success when the Green Jackets won the South Atlantic League in their first year as an affiliate team. The team is, of course, named after the Masters. And the team features a yellow jacket, wasp-colored green, wearing a Tam O'Shanter cap associated with golf. There is a week a year where the Green Jackets take on the alter ego of pimento cheese.
That's fantastic.
The Augusta pimento cheese.
Where are you on pimento cheese sandwiches?
I got the taste of the Masters. I've done it a couple times now, and I like the spread that they say.
Yeah,
it's good.
Its concessions are sort of beloved for what it is, and then the cost of them as well.
It's not for everybody. All right, Schaefer, what do we have on Augusta here?
So here's the Chat GPT quick 30-second read on Augusta. Augusta, Georgia, population about 200,000, is known worldwide for one thing: the Masters. Every April, this quiet southern city transforms into the center of the sports universe as Augusta National Golf Club hosts one of the most prestigious tournaments in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Founded in 1736, Augusta started as a river trading post and cotton hub, and today it's a mix of history, healthcare, and military influence. But let's be honest, this city runs on pimento cheese sandwiches and pristine fairways for one very important week.
They do.
It's pretty much sums up.
Now I've heard the stories from people that, obviously it's quite the cool thing to go to the Masters tournament on any of the days. But I've heard from a lot of people that if you want some like elite, underground like merch pulls, you go to the actual golf course merch store, not during the Masters when all the Masters stuff takes over, and you come back home with some stuff that says Augusta National Golf Club, and then all your golf friends will look at you like you're the coolest person ever. Just a pro tip that I heard on TikTok.
That would make sense. The people that I know that have been to the Masters just rave about like it has like the vibe of the Chick-fil-A efficiency.
Yes.
Like really good at getting you in, getting you out, getting you served, making sure that you don't feel like you've been rushed, hurried, any of that, but you get everything you want out of it.
Tremendous.
And then they'll, ship it to where it needs to be shipped, or you can take it with you or whatever.
Joey, what interstate runs through Augusta, Georgia?
I-20.
Yep.
He looked it up. He had to have looked it up.
He did not.
I had the map up.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way he didn't have the map up. He was curious.
Well, I was curious about the population spread on Augusta, because I know it's a very short city.
When we do this in the future, that has to be like the first question. So then, because I know Joey wants to pull up the area all the time.
I would too.
I like maps.
Right.
I like to
exactly.
Clearly. By the way, two airports in
I flew
Augusta,
into one of them.
Augusta Regional Airport and Daniel Field. Augusta Regional Airport is served by two passenger airlines: Delta, which offers service to Atlanta, then you could just go anywhere from Atlanta.
Atlanta's the main base.
And American Eagle, which will offer service to Charlotte, Dallas, Fort Worth, and Washington, D.C. And then you can get anywhere from there as well. So I would say that Augusta's regional airport has more going on than Lincoln. # Breeze Airways.
Yeah, I would assume it has more going on than Lincoln. It has more people visiting it every year.
That's true. And I assume a lot of private flights coming in around this time of the year.
Someone was telling me that they get so many private flights that they can't have all of them.
I would imagine so. All right. Let's take a break here. We will come back. That is our city of the day, Augusta, Georgia. Enjoy all the sights of Augusta this weekend. We're back after this with the 7 o'clock hour on 1620 The Zone.
Get ready for the off season.
All right, 7 o'clock here on Happer and Schaefer. 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, the Zone app, the Zone radio network. I heard from a lot of people yesterday when we went off the air for a few minutes. They were like, wow, I'm going to go to your app. And it's tremendous. It works fantastic. Download the app. Or you could, of course, watch us on YouTube as well. A couple reminders for you here. Speaking of things that are coming to Memorial Stadium, like the Savannah Bananas, Zach Bryan is coming to Memorial Stadium in just a couple of weeks here. In fact, 2 weeks from tomorrow, Matt will have one more chance for you to win tickets for you today on his show, and you can check out our website, 1620thezone.com, if you'd like to get into the show. Just click on the Red Zone giveaway for your chance to score a pair of tickets. Also, tickets for events on Saturday, April 25th, in and around the area. Nate Bargatze is back in town at the Chai, April 25th, and John and Josh have your chance to win tickets this afternoon. Also, there is an online contest as well, 1620thezone.com. To the portal we go. From yesterday, wasn't a tremendously busy day. I would imagine this to be a busy weekend coming up.
The dead period lift today. Is that right?
I think that is correct. There was an initial 3 or 4 day dead period, and now visits are happening this weekend. In fact, there are some folks who are scheduling multiple visits across the country this weekend. So you're going to start to see things move very, very, very quickly starting this weekend. And some things already happened yesterday. Sam Orm committed to Nebraska basketball. He played at Belmont last year. Belmont, as we now know, is in the Missouri Valley Conference, which I have to remind myself of that at times. Not the Missouri Valley I once knew. Belmont, by the way,
in Nashville,
won 26 games this year. They were the number one three-point shooting team in the country. Number one. 41% of their threes were made this year. They were really the number one effective field goal percentage team in the country when you pair along with their 2-point field goal percentage as well, which was 4th in the nation. So for all intents and purposes, what I'm saying, this was the best shooting team in the country and Sam Arm was a part of it. The sophomore shot just about 41% from three this year. He was just got done with his second year. He's got 2 years left. Not super high volume from three, but 6'9", and played in started 27 out of the 28 games he played in this year. This feels like a nice addition for Nebraska basketball.
Yeah, definitely a good way to start. I mean, you grab a guy that does what Fred Hoiberg wants in terms of floor spacing. He can kind of chip in a variety of ways. I don't know exactly how it fits in terms of your on court 1 through 5.
Well, you just don't know yet because you don't know what it's going to be.
Right. But it's a great start. It feels like they're just going to get a lot of guys that are pretty long and throw them in where they throw them in. Like I do not anticipate, as we kind of said in that 6 o'clock hour, that there's going to be a lot of like attempts to get 1-to-1 replacements of. We need a guy that has rink mass skill set.
It's an important thing to note
because
Schaefer.
I don't think there's just a lot of people out there that have that exact skill set.
Right.
And even if they have a similar skill set, it doesn't mean that they can just sort of come in and replace that role entirely. So you're just trying to grab talent. And we know a big thing for Hoiberg is the ability to shoot and to space the floor. That's what you're going to get with Sam Orm.
Yep. So he's a player who, almost half of his shots came from the 3-point line last year, but he was still effective from inside the 3-point line. Doesn't get to the free throw line a whole lot. So he's not a huge, take it to the rim guy. With that being said, he did dunk it 25 times this past year and dunked all of them. He dunked them all.
So he already can't be rink mass.
25 for 25. Second most dunks on the team behind a guy named Drew Sharnowski.
Could Nebraska be the dunking team? And no.
You're going to need more dunks than that.
Well, Frager can bring some dunks.
Yeah, you're going to need more dunks than that. Okay. Frager was good for what? A dunk a game?
I think we're out of the people who dunk.
Right.
I mean, Sanford can dunk. That is a pretty rare sight.
Let me check on Frager's dunks this year.
His dunks were louder than they were in terms of volume.
Volume, right. Dunks. Braden Frager, 12 out of 14.
Yeah.
This might be Mr. Sam Arm. He might be your dunker.
Wow.
But not a whole lot of dunks going on. Not a whole lot of dunks. And then, defensively, we'll see what they get out of him as well. But this is certainly an offensively skewed player, I would say. But a nice pickup. And, I think the important thing here is what we said at the top of the show, and Schaefer just mentioned it. It doesn't have to be that this is the new Price Sanford. It doesn't have to, even though Price Sanford is staying, like, at least we think.
They're going to have 2 Price Sanfords.
They're going to have 2 Price Sanfords.
Imagine trying to cover 2 Price Sanfords.
Or this is the second Braden Frager, or like whatever you guys want to make him out to be. Like, we'll see what happens with the roster. We'll see what it looks like. And then they'll build a team around that. Now, you want to have a bunch of guys that fit certain molds, right? You can't just have a bunch of 6'8" guys who are standing out there shooting 3-pointers. That's not a coherent basketball team. They're going to go out and get guards and different types of guards and different types of point guards. This is a wing, or even maybe you could do a stretch 4 type of deal with them a little bit as well. And, they're going to want to go get slower, more powerful bigs or shot blocking bigs, sort of whatever it might mean after that. But let's just not do the 1-for-1 thing as if we can. First comment in from G Fred on YouTube. What do you care, Creighton boy?
Yeah, what do you care, Creighton boy?
I don't know. I just saw the news and thought it was my responsibility to deliver
boy
it.
A lot. Like, is that like a?
Not really. I don't think anybody actually cares. But
no, not that they care.
I like the
but
reference.
Just that in terms of a derogatory name for you.
No,
You're
not
just walking
much.
Down the street, no one's hanging out of their car. You yelling,
Creighton boy.
Yeah.
No, not much.
Okay.
No, not much. It's actually pretty well accepted here in Omaha. But
You're amongst your peers.
yeah. So I do care because it is my responsibility to share the good word with you all. That's what I care. That's what I care. Hot Danger says, glad they chose to get another Sam. We've tried to win without anyone named Sam on the roster, and it just doesn't work. That is a great point. This is the new Sam, literally.
Someone will make it their their weekend's work endeavor to look up Nebraska's win percentage of a player named Sam on the roster relative to its win percentage without.
You had some overlap with Sam's, with Griesel and Hoiberg. And then before Griesel, they sucked. So
yeah, I was trying to think of Sam prior to him.
In a Hoiberg era Sam-less team, they were awful.
Right. But I'm trying to think of Sam's even, before Hoiberg. And that's not like I don't have any coming to mind for me.
No. I wouldn't know anything pre mid 90s, but
sure. But I can't even think of like a random Sam on a 2000s team. There's no random Sams coming to mind.
No, I don't think so. So in the Sam era, it's been really, really successful.
Could very well be.
Really successful. John writes in on the text line, Orm doesn't get to the free throw line. He's a perfect fit for Nebraska. That's the way they're going to build their team, man. Yeah.
It'll be interesting by the time we're talking Monday. If they have a couple more people here, there's a chance that kind of the names that they've been associated with, the Drew Fielder, the Boise State center. That's someone that Robin Washut and others are expecting will be visiting this weekend.
Robin.
Trevin Leonhardt from Utah Valley. Like I say, he feels like the kind of perfect Fred Hoiberg version of a point guard.
Exciting whites.
A lot of these targets fall under that category. Yeah.
Hey, who am I to talk?
If it works, it works. Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, that's all right.
But yeah, that guy in particular, just because you get the assists, you get the 3-point shooting. He's long. He's like 6'4", but he's longer than 6'4". There's just a lot of it that kind of makes sense. And then locally, Trayson Anderson, I think there's a lot of interest. What would happen with the former Lincoln? I think Lincoln Southeast for Trayson Anderson. I have to look that up. Maybe Southwest.
Okay.
He's from North Dakota State, and so he's gotten a lot of attention from various teams in the portal, but would have multi-years of eligibility and could be kind of a power forward to develop sort of thing.
John writes in Sam Hastrider.
I don't know that name.
He played in Nebraska basketball. I know the Hastrider name has been in Lincoln for a long time. But I don't know if he ever played for Nebraska basketball. Are you getting anything on that?
He's from Lincoln.
Is it like a Pius guy? Yeah, he was a Pius guy with Sam.
Yeah, he would have been on that same team.
Okay. All right, so that doesn't count because he obviously never played for Nebraska basketball. John, that's what we're looking for. Yeah, Hot Danger said Pius. I remember because I did a lot of Pius games when I worked in Lincoln. A lot of Sam Hoiberg games. A lot of Charlie Easley games.
Yeah, I was just thinking Charlie Easley.
A lot of Charlie Easley going on.
Good player.
He was a lot of fun to watch. Terry writes in on the Equitable Bank inbox, upgrade, ? Hi, guys. Maybe the new Sam would be a Berkey upgrade.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're the same player.
Is this the new Berkey?
Like the difference between Berkey and Sam Orm is about 30 pounds.
Sam Orm does not scream defensive enforcer.
Nope. Nor does he scream like particularly effective Big Ten rebounder either.
Yeah.
He's, like I said, about 30 to 35 pounds less than Berkey and was grabbing 5 rebounds a game. Were they Mo Valley this year?
Yes.
In the Mo Valley?
They were.
I mean, I don't know that translates to a bunch of rebounds inside the Big Ten.
Yeah, you don't think going up against the bigs of Southern Illinois and Bradley and Indiana State on a nightly basis prepares you for Big Ten athletes?
Not particularly.
All them dudes from Michigan State?
I would not be surprised at all if he averages like 3.5 to 4 rebounds a game in the Big Ten, which Berkey wasn't exactly bringing in 10 rebounds a game. So it's not, but it's,
you can rebound without giant people. I mean, they'll figure it out.
No, it's not that specifically. It's all the other aspects.
By the way, Belmont this year, so like I said, 26-6. They were, I believe they won the Missouri Valley regular season. Yes, they did by a few games. So they were the number 1 seed and then got housed by Drake in the first game of the Missouri Valley tournament at Arch Madness. Folks, they lost by 21. And that was it.
Then you're done.
That sucks.
Did they play in the NIT?
No, they didn't.
They didn't play in anything?
No, they just dipped. They were like, peace.
Boo. Did their coach go somewhere?
He may have. Casey Alexander.
North Carolina didn't consider him?
It doesn't appear so. He went to K-State.
Oh, well then.
They hired the Belmont guy.
Gotcha.
I wonder if K-State brought any Belmont guys with them. Anyway, that is what is going on in the portal for Nebraska basketball. For Creighton skipball, okay, so still waiting on like officially the announcements from Hudson Greer and Jackson McAndrew, but we did get yesterday a tweet from Hudson Greer, who tweeted at Jackson McAndrew, and he tweeted at him a picture, a very interesting picture, I would say. And if you're watching along on the YouTube stream, you will be able to see what he tweeted at him momentarily. He tweeted at him this. Now, what do you think this means? If you're watching along with this on YouTube, you can see what Hudson Greer tweeted at Jackson McAndrew last night. Schaefer, would you describe what you're seeing right now?
It sure looks like, and I mean, I may not be the one most qualified to describe, but it sure looks like a bus on a monster truck suspension about to run over some vehicles. A little bit of a demolition derby monster truck thing that we have going on here. But most notably, I believe that is Alan Huss's face imposed onto the monster truck bus.
Yeah, I believe they're calling this the Huss bus.
The monster Huss bus?
The monster Huss bus.
Something's got to rhyme with bus. Just can't think of the word.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know who that guy is in the front of that bus, but he's running over that car, and apparently the Huss bus is leaving the station. So we saw that.
What would be the car?
There was the Muss bus, and then there was the recruit a few years ago that it was the Gus bus, and now we're on to the Huss bus.
That's right.
Okay.
There always needs to be a bus at all times, much like there always needs to be a Sam for Nebraska basketball.
Or there needs to be some sort of rod in baseball. There's got to be an A-Rod, an E-Rod, a K-Rod.
That's right. We're back to J-Rod, I guess, right now. But that is that is a subliminal messaging there from Hudson Greer last night. Jackson McAndrew responded on Twitter with the Blue Jay, a couple Blue Jay emojis. So
that's probably a good sign.
That feels like that's happening.
Probably
and then even more a good sign for Creighton, Hudson Greer went out and started recruiting other people that Creighton is interested in the transfer portal and said, run it back in Omaha, ? At Caden Edwards. Caden Edwards played this year at TCU as a freshman. He didn't do much this season.
Who's Caden Edwards? Why would he run it back in Omaha?
They played together in high school.
I see.
And that was, I believe this was before Greer went to Montverde Academy. So there you go. And then Kingston Flemings got in on it too. And he was like, what's going on here? And he was at the very least curious about some things that
if
were
Kingston Flemings ends up in Omaha instead of the NBA.
Now that would be something.
I think Huss has some things going for him. I would like to just be on the record of saying that.
He might have a lot of it.
Short of Kingston Flemings, very much in wait and see mode.
So
Kingston Flemings, I've seen enough.
They all played in on the same circuit, Texas high school. So that's how they know each other. Hudson Greer pretty well connected in that world. And then playing obviously at Montverde as well. So I would expect that announcement at some point over the next couple of, I don't know, hours. I've kind of been expecting it for the last day or two now.
Just hitting refresh on your Twitter.
I kind of am. I want to see the Jackson, because you get a boost when you could speak to this from Frager yesterday. It just makes you feel so nice and warm inside.
The Frager thing was particularly funny because the team was at the state legislature. Being the state legislature put a pause on contentious conversations about property taxes for everyone to come together for something they believe in, which is Nebraska basketball. And then Frager gets interviewed by the Plain Sentinel, a news outlet that I wasn't aware of its existence until yesterday.
Is that a local? I apologize.
They largely cover, I think, government-related things.
Okay. But it's local.
Yeah, it's local. Frager gets asked the question, and he says, yeah, I'm coming back. And that was the confirmation. And then they put the graphic out, and that was that.
Cool.
It's 100% like, I thought this was going to happen, but certainly coming off of everything with Berke, it's like, okay, yeah, this is better.
It makes you feel nice.
This is good.
It makes you feel nice.
You have the second most important player, and then the most important player in Sanford. You have Frager saying, yeah, he's going to be back too. So I think it feels probably pretty good.
I would agree.
And now you have Sam Orm, who could be Mass. He could be Lawrence. He could be Hoiberg.
Yeah, he could be, but he's definitely at least
Sam
one
Orm
of those
could be-
people. He's not a unique person. He is one of a former Nebraska basketball player.
Behind door number 3, Jared Garcia.
Oh, no, that is not what we want him to be.
He can't be Sam Orm. He has to be one of these.
Yep, he can't be his own unique person. He is a former Nebraska basketball player or a double of a current Nebraska basketball player. So yeah, and you know what? As long as it ends well for Hudson and Jackson at Creighton, like as long as you get the announcement at some point, I don't really mind the teasing of the like, hey, we're going to announce that we're coming back. But if
they don't end up there,
then I'm very angry.
Then you will feel deceived and miffed,
yes,
and slighted,
yes,
and you'll be peeved and agitated.
I saw a couple videos of Berke being, I saw him slapping the thing on the bracket, the Nebraska on the bracket, and I was like, damn, that guy just went into the portal. It's a cold world out there.
It's crazy because like Berke's tattoo has brought a level of attention to his transfer portal involvement that would not have been there otherwise.
Yes.
But that tattoo is getting aggregated all over.
It is. World. I saw it pop up on the bar stool and things of that nature. By the way, but speaking of portal or lack of portal announcements, we'd like to thank our dear friend Platcat for bringing this one back to our attention this morning. It's an absolute gem from Ryan Kalkbrenner, who, when he announced he was coming back to Creighton for his millionth year a couple of years ago, he got on Twitter on May 29th after the draft process and said, I am coming back to Creighton for another year.
What would be great is if he were to like re-sign with Charlotte someday, and that's just like
I am re-signing with Charlotte now. Thank you.
That is how he just announces all of his return.
This will be my only appearance on social media.
I don't want Shams to have this information. I'll do it myself.
Yeah. I am re-signing with the Charlotte Hornets. Thank you. I am becoming a free agent.
See you soon, Queen City.
He's like me. Handshake, Ryan Kalkbrenner, handshake me. We are doing a radio show today.
Yeah.
We are playing at Creighton for another year, is what he said in 2023. Also in the transfer portal, Pop Isaacs is back into the portal.
That. I was like, well, Nebraska needs a point guard, but maybe not that one.
Old friend alert.
He's going to be on his fourth school, it appears.
So he transferred to Creighton from Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Then he went to Texas A&M. So I guess he is scheduled to come back to the Midwest. At this point,
Iowa.
If you go Texas Tech to Creighton to Texas A&M,
Kansas State,
you would actually have to go somewhere in Nebraska because you go Texas, Nebraska, Texas.
UNO.
If our friends at the bull market could pull off the Pop Isaacs NIL deal, yes.
I think the Mavericks had someone just enter in the transfer portal from yesterday.
Oh no,
if I remembered right.
Oh no,
who could it be?
Well, I saw the Jobé guy went in, and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
But but they'll find a way. Maybe he goes to UNK.
That's a huge surprise, though.
No,
I mean, he has a market for him outside of the Summit. So
there's no doubt. So I saw quite the intense reaction from Creighton fans on their lack of wanting to recruit Pop Isaacs again.
Yep.
Because people immediately were like, this is the difficult part of the transfer portal and following it minute to minute. Chances are, if a person exists, he's had some sort of tangential like relationship with a local school at some point. And then he enters the portal again at some point in his career. And you're like, hey, hang on. There's a relationship here. You never know. You never know what happens. And then I think for Creighton, obviously, it makes even more sense because they, had a coaching change and all those different things. And Huss was a big part of, I think, bringing him to Omaha in the first place. And everybody remembers the Kansas game. I genuinely don't know if there would be any sort of dipping a toe in the water there, but I ultimately don't think it will happen.
Yeah. What is the big need left for, assuming Jackson McAndrew and Hudson Greer are back, that you have Jason Green. I couldn't come up with
Jason Green.
I was like, it's Green, but I'd like to say his first name, and I couldn't find Jason in my brain.
It's Jason.
You have Trout. You have Austin Schwartz, right?
Schwartz is back.
He's back. So what's like? Is it point guard then become the?
I think just more stability in the depth.
I think yeah. So I think Oswin is probably your center. And then you probably definitely still want to take a backup type of big and probably a different type of big than Oswin brings to the table, like shot blocker. Maybe you want to go more of an offensive guy with some versatility as far as that's concerned. And then point guard, unless you hand the reins over to Cottrell Harmon, which I don't think is probably the plan for year one. But I do think if we've learned some things over the first couple days of this deal, for the folks who are worried about Creighton not having the money to toss out there for guys, I do think that's there for them.
That was like a big concern.
People are always concerned about nonsensical things.
Yeah. I think they're okay.
All I saw was after the first day, it was like, oh my God, we're poor. I'm like, it's the first day. All right.
I mean, relative
we're poor, we're rich, we can't snip,
Kentucky and Louisville, everyone is poor.
Yes.
I think that's the only way to approach this.
That is true.
Relative to those two programs specifically, yes, you are poor in basketball.
Yeah.
Because every big player, whatever 24/7 sports update or whatever I saw yesterday on Twitter was, well, Kentucky and Louisville will probably be factors in this one. It's like, they can't take everyone.
They can't take everyone. And they can't, they can pay all of their money to all of these people.
Also,
but
this is like a get off my lawn type rant here. But if you're gonna, Joey's getting the rant.
Get off.
There you go.
Thank you, John.
If you're just popping on to make a video or to tweet or to report that these two teams are probably going to be interested in said really good player, that's really not like, that's the Bob Nightingale level of information.
Not of much use.
Here.
Yeah.
Do better is basically where I'm at with it.
Or you could just not do anything.
Exactly.
It's an option.
You don't just have to pop in and be like, well, we're not really sure who's going to pursue Robert Wright other than we know Louisville and Kentucky will be involved. Great.
Thank you for that information.
One of the three best players in the portal. I'm shocked that two of the rich teams are very interested.
Text from the 402 writes in, he's talking about Pop. Didn't he have a cup of coffee at Houston or did he just commit there and flip? I think he committed there and flipped. I want to say that's right, from last year after he went into the portal.
So where was he? He was at Texas Tech?
Tech, yeah.
Okay. He wasn't a starter there?
He was, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was. And he
had
some things go on.
That never stood out to me when they were playing and I had him on. Like, I just didn't ever really process that.
He had some.
I remember him at Creighton.
He had some troubles, and then he was at Creighton, and he played 10 games here, and one of the last one was against Kansas, and he went off, and then he had hip surgery and missed the remainder of the year, and then went into the portal, and now he's back into the portal after a year of buckyball.
Buckyball.
All right, so there's your portal update. I imagine much will take place over the weekend as far as our local basketball teams here. Want to hear from you? 402-951-1620. Always feel free to call or text into the show, or of course tweet, or of course send an email to the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. Let's take a timeout. We'll be back after this on 1620 The Zone. All right, happy Friday. Get in your Friday shout-outs like our friends from Liquid Trucking just did. Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed. They used hashtag Friday shout-outs. Hashtag Friday shout-outs. Congratulations to this week's training graduates. We'll see you on the roads. So nice job. Friday shout-outs to Joel, Nathan, and Clarence this week. Get your hashtag Friday shout out in right now at Happen Schaefer, or use the hashtag Friday shout outs. I think Schaefer's just putting out a tweet.
I am.
Is it out?
The tweet is out.
Release the tweets. The tweets are out from Mike Schaefer.
There is no picture of Alan Huss on this tweet.
Oh, no.
His face is not on a
that's sad.
monster bus.
Maybe we'll put him on this bus, right? Maybe we'll put him on this stream right now. I like that as kind of just like a surprise that randomly pops up during the show. The Huss bus. It's come. It's going to run you over, apparently. All right, baseball this weekend. Nebraska baseball goes to Oregon. Big series for Nebraska baseball. We're at Oregon this week. A chance to test the mettle against one of the best. I think it's very, very fair to say that Nebraska is at least one of the top. They're in that top tier of Big Ten. I shouldn't say top tier because that's just UCLA by itself. But you have USC, Nebraska, Oregon. I think
they're
all
in the second tier.
In that second tier, which is pretty good. And potential regional hosts and top 2 seeds in regionals. And so Nebraska gets to test their mettle coming off of their loss against Kansas this week. Oregon, I think, is coming off of a tough stretch as well. I think they lost
Oregon
to
has
Portland.
Lost 3 out of their last 4.
Yeah, they lost to Portland this weekend. They
to
lost to Michigan last weekend. Yeah.
And they lost to Portland.
Portland. There's people are saying that Portland is the team of the WCC this year.
Okay.
Creighton had played Portland each of the last 2 years before this year, and they were a little frisky. Watch out for West Coast baseball, man. They'll get you.
In my travels to Portland, never saw any Portland Pilots gear ever. Did come across quite a bit of Portland.
Nary a Portland Pilot.
Yeah, I don't even know what part of Portland the Portland Pilots inhabit.
I just remember that they had a shortstop. I think they came here 2 years ago, and Creighton played out there last year in baseball, and their shortstop's name was Jonas Salk.
Hey,
and I was like, whoa, Jonas Salk. I could use some Jonas Salk, the guy who made like the polio vaccine.
Sure, yeah.
Different guy, obviously.
He did not travel throughout time and then come back as a shortstop for the Portland Pilots. But that's one of those, like, your parents made a decision when they named you, and you're going to be this.
By the way, Old Man Doug writes in, we see you, Old Man Doug. Old Man Doug writes in, are you guys purposely ignoring me? No. But he was wondering, what if Bearcade transfers to Iowa?
Is that on the docket? Like,
on the text line.
It's like,
he asked before thing? That. Oh, I didn't see this text. It says, FYI, your phones are not working. It has a constant busy. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
I have not heard about
that.
This.
Probably makes sense because Joey wouldn't see it if the phone didn't get through.
I'll call the studio and see if I can get something.
Okay. Joey's going to get to work.
That's not good.
On the phone lines. But we got baseball this weekend. What do you think? Nebraska baseball ready to rock it on the road?
Big opportunity to kind of. I mean, if you can go take 2 out of 3 here, and then you get 1 against USC. I mean, Brunt's kind of said this, I think, on Monday, but
500 in the next 2 weekends.
You can just get 3 and 3 out of that, USC Oregon situation. You're going to feel great about your opportunity to be in the top 4 for the Big Ten, which is what you want. It cuts down the amount of games you have to play. The Big Ten's new format, which
very cool and very fun,
is very Big Ten. And so
it's hard for me to imagine them falling out of that top 4. I just think they're going to be one of them. Now, like the schedules are so tilted and slanted, like you just don't know what's going to be what at the end of the year from a record perspective. Right. But I just think Nebraska is that much better than every team not named USC, Oregon, and UCLA that it's hard for me to imagine them falling out of that.
Yeah, a lot of it for me is just like, don't even allow for the possibility of it. So if you're able to just find a way to get 2 wins here against Oregon, and a lot of it is going to be, as it has been, can you continue to have crooked innings offensively, and then can your starters get it to Unger with enough help from the middle relief? I mean, that's when
certainly
they've had
the
to turn
soft
it over
spot.
in the 6th inning. That's when the game gets dangerous for Nebraska.
That is the soft spot for Nebraska
So
baseball.
they've got to figure out how you can get through the 6th inning, hopefully with your starter, and then if you can get through the 7th and 8th to Unger, you feel pretty good about it.
The constant question going on with Nebraska baseball is, will they host a regional? So there's a lot of I
don't think they will. I think they're going to come up short of it. I think that's okay. They can be a top 20 team and not a top 16 team.
You've put yourself in position to have the conversation, which I think is a really good thing.
More than they've done. Like, there's been times where this, like a couple years ago, this was coming up, and it's like they're not really that close.
Now, if they played, if they had a series with UCLA where they really got a chance,
right?
Then there's really a pathway toward it. I just don't know that they're. I don't know. I'm not sure that there is.
Which is what makes the idea.
I should take that back. There is a pathway to it. Obviously, they got to they got to stack a lot of wins in order to do so. I tend to side with you, Schaefer. Like, it just feels like
I think they're going to be a 2 seed in like the 14th seeds regional or something like that.
Winnable,
right? A lot of it to me is like go win, whether it's in Lincoln or whether it's somewhere else. Like, put yourself in the regional final again, like you did against Arkansas. And the season's going to be a big success.
So next 2 weekends, like I said, 3 against Oregon, 3 against USC. How does Nebraska turn out record-wise? Not including the Creighton game next
I'll
Tuesday.
just blindly stick with the 3-3.
All right, I'll go 4-2.
Okay.
I think Nebraska finds 2 series wins.
They're probably in line to finish second in the conference.
2 series wins. They win 2 out of 3 in each of the next 2 weekends.
Yeah, they win those. They probably won't lose a series in Big Ten play.
They probably won't. And then they'll go to their super secret format Big Ten tournament coming. I guess it's not a secret anymore.
The idea of UCLA, Nebraska playing for the Big Ten title, the conference tournament title in Omaha, like
pretty
they haven't
exciting.
played all year. Say Nebraska's 17th in the country and UCLA, like there will be a ton of people at that stadium.
Both of them are on their like 19th pitcher or whatever. Well, no, they don't have to play that many games. Yeah, that's right.
I mean, Nebraska might just be throwing Blackowitz out there or something and be okay with it.
Yeah, so what?
Would they just save?
They'd have to win 2 games to get to the championship if they're a top 4.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Or they just save Ty Horn because he's the one that shut down UCLA.
In theory, you would be on your 3rd starter.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you could go with Katsky.
The whole idea of rewarding those teams was so they didn't have to burn out any arms before the tournament.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it really does.
Makes a lot of sense.
In your 20-team conference or whatever it is.
Baseball in Omaha this weekend. The Blue Jays will take on Seton Hall, who stinks. RPI 231.
Not good.
Ouch. Yeah, they got beat pretty badly by St. John's last weekend and got beat by Rutgers on Tuesday in the midweek. Not much to write home about on the old Seton Hall resume, which is mildly surprising because they had kind of been one of the more consistent programs in the Big East over the last handful plus of years here. But they have not gotten off to a good start this year. They come to Omaha this weekend, and hopefully we can play baseball around here.
Baseball.
Who knows what the weather will bring to the table? But you can enjoy those games if you like baseball on the radio on Yacht Rock 1180, or you could watch on ESPN Plus. Nebraska this weekend will be on the Children BTN Plus. Assuming that Oregon has the children to doing their games. Maybe they hire I don't know why BTN Plus couldn't hire professionals to do the games, but
I assume they just want the offer, the schools to offer college credit or some sort of way to avoid having to pay.
If the BTN, shoved the schools a little bit more money, then they could actually hire people to do the games, and that might be a good thing.
The conference in general has more money, which means the BTN should have more money too, right? They got $70 million for those NCAA tournament wins.
Unfortunately, it does not appear as if that money is being diverted to baseball.
Sad.
It is sad. So there's your baseball weekend coming up ahead. Let's take a break. Joey has some very intriguing headlines
They
for
are
us
good
today. We'll do that after this on 1620 The Zone. By the way, a comment in from Hot Danger on YouTube. Developing the bench for future broadcasting is important, Connor. I can understand how that philosophy might not make sense to someone who's cheered for Greg McDermott teams, but it is common. No, we appreciate the BTN Plus for developing the future of broadcasting. Sometimes I feel like they're not necessarily developing the future of broadcasting and they're just trying to get by on cheap labor, but that's just me. But I certainly did enjoy my time broadcasting on the BTN Plus back when I had hair and I would wear plaid shirts.
Yeah. You don't wear plaid anymore? You're out on
No,
plaid?
I don't wear plaid shirts anymore.
You're just completely out on plaid, huh?
I don't. Does anybody wear plaid shirts anymore?
I'm sure someone somewhere is wearing a plaid shirt.
If you did like one of the Google, like the trend thing on plaid shirts, it's got to be absolute falling off a cliff since 2015.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I don't really think about it. These aren't things that I consider.
All right. Let us know if you feel like plaid shirts.
People still wear plaid to like country concerts, right?
Poll question: have plaid shirts fallen off? Yes.
So I'm guessing that's still a thing.
Yes.
But plaid and flannel, probably there's a distinction there that has to be made. They might be wearing more flannel to the country concerts too.
Yeah. It's in the same category, but plaid you could wear with you could potentially wear with a tie or something.
Sure, yeah.
I don't wear no plaid shirts anymore. I wear quarter zips and polos. And
I don't think I've ever worn a plaid shirt with a tie.
Nah, yeah, I
now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know that I've ever worn a tie with not a solid shirt.
I didn't know what I was doing from a fashion standpoint in 2014. That's for sure.
I mean, I'm sure I didn't either, but
yeah, you knew that at least. All right, Joey, we have headlines. We have some very intriguing ones today. Let's hit them.
All right, the first one, it's an update from a story I think I remember doing on the Connor Happer Show's Odd News. But the first headline, a Buffalo area man and his fight to reclaim Albert, his 12-foot alligator seized in 2024.
Ends his fight. I mean, he gave up.
It's unfortunate.
It's a story about a man giving up.
All Albert wants to do is to go home to this man, but he won't have that opportunity.
All right, headline 2.
Second one, I want to give thanks to Sam on Twitter for giving me this story, but Snapple lady Wendy Kaufman calls job gift to sobriety after years of cocaine addiction.
Okay, yeah, that's obviously the story that we're clicking on, I think.
Yep. Snapple lady pretty much sealed it up.
Yeah, because there's enough question there of like, I don't know what's going on. All right, this is from page 6. Wendy Kaufman credits her job at Snapple with helping her get sober after a decade of cocaine use beginning in the 1980s. The former beverage spokeswoman, who famously became known as Wendy the Snapple Lady. Do you remember the Snapple Lady, Mike Schaefer?
Not off the top of my head.
I don't either. Opened up about her wild drug addiction during an interview with People that was published this week. 67-year-old Kaufman told the outlet that she first tried cocaine the night she graduated from Syracuse University with a couple of different degrees in 1980. I knew I was an addict. I knew I was going to love it, she shared. And that started a 10-year run with cocaine where I got myself in a lot of trouble with it. Her cocaine addiction became so serious that Kaufman's family organized an intervention for her in 1990, which ended up saving her life and gave her the strength to enter rehab. I needed it. I was grateful to have it. I ended up going to the hospital. So when I was done with my 28 days, which became 45 days, which became 10 months, I spent that time getting myself together. She added that they told me if I didn't get the help, I was going to die. There was really no choice for me. I don't remember the Snapple lady at all.
So I remember like these sort of images where you have the Snapple in the background and it looks like she's at just this generic desk. I kind of remember those commercials. Other than that, like she doesn't pop for me.
Maybe this is an 80s situation.
I think it's more of a 90s situation.
However, getting sober also meant that Kaufman had to learn how to live on life's terms and not be spoiled by relying on her family's business in the steel industry. So through a friend of her father's, she joined Snapple in April of 1991. Although she began in the audit department, Kaufman quickly climbed her way to the top to become head of PR after deciding to start, quote, doing nice things for all the Snapple fans and customers reaching out to the company. Quote, a huge part of my sobriety was getting out of my brain and doing nice things for other people because I wasn't so nice and I wasn't so nice to me, she explained. I started handling the letters and realized, oh my God, not only is this a gift to sobriety to do great things for people, but it's making me feel so much better about myself. This is God's work. This is unbelievable that this just showed itself to me, and I went from there. The Quaker Oats Company ultimately bought Snapple in 1994 and decommissioned its beloved Snapple Lady spokesperson in 2008. Before that, Kaufman had appeared in dozens of commercial and made countless appearances in the public across the U.S. But after 18 years of leaving the company, Kaufman still credits Snapple with helping her to stay sober and allowing her to do, quote, so much more than she would have if she had never become the Snapple Lady. I couldn't have done it without Snapple because they saw something in me and cheered me on. I got to go to Oprah. I did Joan Rivers and David Letterman, his top 10 list. I did all the things you could only dream about as just a regular person, Kaufman concluded. I got to do so much more.
Connor, you're a regular person. Have you ever dreamed of being on Joan Rivers?
No, but Letterman, I mean, obviously,
Letterman would be.
This is all very 90s.
Sure.
But
Letterman would be awesome.
If I got to do the top 10 on Letterman, that'd be pretty
great.
sick. Yeah.
Oh. Did you ever partake in Snapple? Did you ever drink Snapple?
Yes, there was definitely a moment of snappling.
Yeah, I definitely had a Snapple.
I like the tops there. You could click.
Tops
click,
are great.
Yep.
Tops are great.
And they got the messages on there.
I did like the Arnold Palmer Snapple of the
good one.
The iced tea lemonade. It was very good. I'd get the diet version. There'd be no calories. It was fantastic.
Tremendous.
I did that when
I'll get a Snapple today.
I stopped drinking. They're hard to find. You can't really.
They don't
find
have at the
them
gas
anymore.
stations anymore.
I don't think so.
Were they replaced by Sobe, Life Water?
Replaced by a bunch of fake Life Water.
They really were at this point. All right, there you go. That's Snapple Lady. If you ever wondered what she was up to, we'll come back 8 o'clock hour. We're halfway home on a Friday on Happer and Schaefer on 1620 The Zone. John writes in on the text line. Thank you, Connor. I have spent many, many sleepless nights wondering what happened to the Snapple lady. Well, you could thank Joey Colbert for bringing you the headlines.
Thank you, Joey.
You can thank Sam on Twitter.
You could thank
for
Sam on
giving
Twitter.
me the story.
Also, I'd like to thank Sam on Twitter for sending us a good meme of the Stonks saying that he bought 100 shares of Plaid in 1999 and it peaked in 2012. It's been plummeting ever since. There's a picture of me looking very angry.
Yeah,
as the Stonks
very
guy.
angry. Angry about the Plaid just plummet.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's my serious broadcaster face. I don't know. Stay tuned to tonight's Creighton Baseball Open with me and John to find out what face I'm making. Maybe we can make a bit out of this.
I like this.
A lot of
kinda
baseball
like the
games.
idea that you reach into a jar and it has a bunch of slips of paper and there's a different emotion on each one. And it's like whatever it is, that's what you're going to be.
Maybe I could be holding
He's
something.
going to be shocked when he.
They only hit me from about here up.
Yeah.
So it's got
No, it's all going to be in the eyes.
It's
and
all
the
going to
nose
happen
and
in
the
the
yeah. Scrunch.
Maybe I act like something smells bad.
Or you're like trying to get something out of your teeth and you act like you didn't know that this was going to happen.
These are all options. Also, we wanted to give you a Masters leaderboard update. Nothing has changed, obviously, today yet, except for Wyndham Clark, who's making his way into the top 10 at the moment. He's 2 under through 3.
Did he win the U.S. Open 2 years ago for Wyndham?
I believe that is right, but he is still chasing down Patrick Reed, Jason Day, something Kitayama, Kurt, and Rory McIlroy, and Sam Burns.
Sam Burns.
I know about Burns.
Big day of Sam's.
Holy crap, you're right.
We've
Yet
got
another.
Sam Orm.
Look at that guy.
You got Samuel Stevens. You got Sam on Twitter.
We have multiple Sams on Twitter, actually.
Yeah, lots of Sams.
Look at that. Is Rory going to be able to do it and not choke? Stay tuned to find out. He finally did it last year, and maybe he just wins all of the Masters.
2023 for Wyndham Clark.
2023. Okay. All right. We're back in the 8 o'clock hour. Get in your Friday shout-outs coming up in 30 or 40 minutes here. Shout out whatever you'd like. We'll shout it out for you because that's what we do on the radio. Shout-outs.
We give the shout-outs.
Absolute electricity in the shout-outs. So send those in, much like our friends from Liquid Trucking did a little bit earlier. And you could send them in via the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed at Happen Schaefer, or at Connor Happer, or at Mike J. Schaefer, or at Joey Warcola, wherever you'd like to get them in, the Equitable Bank inbox. You cannot call the phones, it appears. It appears that Doug was right.
Yeah.
Our phones have died.
It's a busy signal, so
They need to be resuscitated by Mr. Desk.
Can we call out? Do we call Equitable Bank to see if Doug picks up on the first ring and then wants to talk to us?
We can call out, it appears.
Okay.
So we can.
So we'll be calling our guest, Jake, coming up at, in the 9 o'clock hour. But we could call anybody we wanted. We could do prank calls.
We should.
People on the radio used to do prank calls.
Just call him Matt McMaster.
We call Matt from like how do you do it where you block the number?
It used to be star 69 or
is it star? Yes,
used to be. I don't know.
Star 69, then call Matt and just try and make him angry about something. It wouldn't be very difficult, I don't think.
This is a survey from Indiana. How would you feel about Indiana's taxes going
I
up?
don't live in Indiana and I don't care. I don't want to hear about it.
As a Bears fan, would you be willing to drive to Indiana to watch your beloved team play?
Yes, he probably would say yes.
I think he'd say no out of spite. But
he
then
would say no
actually
at first, but he would still
say no, but then he would do it.
Yeah, everybody's crying a river about this whole thing. Like they'd still be Bears fans. I can't. They left me. Like no, they didn't. They moved like 20 miles down the road.
They're terrible.
They left the state.
Yeah, they did leave the state, but
You're an idiot.
The other state's really, really close.
It is close.
They're like the A's going.
It's not
to
like
Vegas.
if they did become the Quad City or the Mississippi River,
then
Bears,
people would actually ditch them.
That
Yeah.
I think would be a much bigger sign of betrayal.
I think so too, but I don't believe that was ever going to happen, and nor will it. It is a shame for content. That much is for sure. All right, Schaefer. as you mentioned to me before when we were not on the air, we do have to reacclimate ourselves, dip the toe in the water a bit of football. We live in a football world filled with football men and women, football people, you would say. And so we will dip our toe in the water of football talk with topics.
Yeah. I was having a good conversation with our Monday guest, Tim Verghese, and he said something that I found really sort of interesting. And I was like, I got some players that I'd be curious how Connor Happer feels about as we trend towards the 2026 season. There's no prompt here. There's no you don't have to give me a number of confidence or anything. It's just a straight, how do you feel about this player?
Okay.
And then we kind of discuss what their actual value is for the team and anything else interesting about the player.
Might find that I need parameters, but we'll see. We'll see. Because maybe I'll just say, oh, good.
Right.
No, I won't. I'll come up with something.
That's okay. Well, if you say that, then I'll just pepper you with other stuff after, and then we'll work to the
You'll
next
get an
player
answer out of
after
me.
that.
You'll
Yeah.
pry it out.
I'm not particularly worried about making this a more interesting thing than you saying he seems fine.
All right. Well, let's do
I'm
it.
fully prepared for you.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Fine.
I promise. I won't.
All right. The first one, and the reason for this is I was talking with Tim, and he said something about how it's probably gone a little bit under the radar, but there's a world where Elijah Pritchett could be like a day 1 or a day 2 NFL pick a year from now, should his development go, really well and everything go with Jeep Wade and all of this. So I asked this to say, how do you feel about Elijah Pritchett, a guy that, what was it, BC that I asked about second-year transfer portal players? We didn't even mention him. We talked about Andrew Marshall and Isaiah Hunter and Jameer Khan and Williams Winery. And then there's Elijah Pritchett, who got a lot better at the end of last year than certainly how things started with his false start on the goal line.
You picked a great guy to start with, because this is like one of my favorite guys on the team. I mean,
because he won't shut up now, according to Dana Holgerson.
I think that's huge.
It's a good sign.
It's a great sign.
When people are comfortable, they talk.
It's a tremendous sign.
Show.
He was good at the end of last year, and I think he was sort of not unfairly. Obviously, he committed the penalties that happened, but there was so much attention that was drawn to the false start thing early on.
3 games of the year.
In the first 3 games of the year, because Rule talked about it, and we were like, oh, he can't stop false starting in practice, so we can't put him on the field. And they false started in the game, and people immediately, they had the shortest leash with him that they could possibly imagine. And if you take that out, which I get it, hard to do. That's when we noticed him. He wasn't that bad in the first place. And then he got a lot better as the year went along and really became an anchor, I think, of that offensive line. And so my answer to this question, Schaefer, would be, I feel very, very, very good about him, incredibly good about him. He is one of my really bright spots for the entire team, and a reason for me to say, if I was building the case for confidence in this team, I would really start there. I would try to make the case to you, and I know that people wouldn't believe me and they wouldn't listen to me, but I would try to make the case to you that the offensive line for Nebraska is going to be pretty good this year. And it starts with Justin Evans and Elijah Pritchett. And you get the transfers that fill the holes elsewhere along the offensive line, a lot of which but I know people get excited about Tree Babalade and Paul Mabanga and Brendan Black, because people get excited about transfers and they get excited for ceilings of players that they haven't seen before. This was your guy in that category last year. Nebraska paid handsomely to get him. He's been in the system a year now. He's got a new offensive line coach who, the returns are coming back on him pretty good here. So yeah, I don't think my stock could be much higher on Elijah Pritchett right now.
Yeah, I'm there with you. A lot of it is just a confidence of what we're hearing and how people have been responding to Jeep Wade. And so that feels really good. And like you, I also feel that Pritchett had a nice finish to the season. That sort of, because the team lost their last 3 games and were uncompetitive in those games, you kind of tend to dismiss how how players performed in there.
I can't remember which game it was, but I remember specifically like looking at Pritchett and saying that dude is hauling ass right now.
Didn't he have
like,
a really good out there in LA against UCLA?
Maybe
like
it was
some
that
of those
game.
screens
Yeah.
for Emmett Johnson, and then I think he helped spring a run in either the Iowa game or the Penn State game with a nice block there on the edge. Like a lot of it is this was a guy, and I was very critical of, the idea that he could just come in and immediately fix your tackle issues last year. And it wasn't immediate, but there's clear that there's a lot of talent there. It's clear that he got better from the start of the season to the end of the season. And I really want to see what it looks like when you continue to surround him with some other talent, a different voice in terms of Jeep Wade and Lonnie Teasley, who's also involved in everything with the offensive line. And, kind of a commitment to a style that I think fits with the offensive line, maybe better than when you were checking out of plays and it sort of left your protection and everyone else not on the same page.
It also appeared that he came to camp this year in
great shape,
better shape.
Yeah, that was definitely a part of it.
Yeah, I kind of thought looking at him last year that he was going to be just like a road grader, and and there's obviously value in that, but there's tons of value in being a really good run blocker. But I think now he's with the body changing and him getting comfortable and all those things, like he could be a pretty versatile left tackle.
This, as it often happens, this wasn't the intent. There'd be another player that I would ask you about here, but now my brain has fired and I have another question for you.
Fire brain.
So you know how like we sometimes have the conversation about like, okay, who's Nebraska's best player or who's kind of the face of the team, et cetera, et cetera. And then we have to hem and haw, and it could be Calandria, it could be Ja'Cory Barney, it could be random defensive player like a Vincent Shavers, whatever. What if the face of Nebraska's team by the end of it is legitimately just the fact that its offensive line is good? Between Pritchett and Evans and those guys that come in, like that, for once, instead of just being conjecture, for once it actually plays out where the strength of Nebraska is its offensive line. We haven't had that in a long time.
I guess my hope is that
someone would emerge out of that.
I guess my hope is that this wouldn't, well, first of all that, but like that this offensive line conversation doesn't evolve so quickly that the train gets rolling too fast down like it turns into the Husk bus.
I think
running
you
over
understand
cars.
and know though, if the offensive line plays well, people are going to really.
I think the offensive line is going to be good. I don't think Nebraska is going to have one of the best 15 offensive lines in the country.
Oh, that's not where I was going.
Like
I meant specifically for Nebraska, not relative to anything else.
Yeah.
But if the best part of this team is its offensive line, we haven't seen that. Like, have you covered a Nebraska team where the best thing that it had was its offensive line? Because I don't think I have, and I've covered it a little longer than you.
Yeah. Hard to tell. I can remember the offensive line. Usually the battle that I fight year in and year out is the offensive line isn't as bad as you think it is. The offensive line isn't as bad as you think it is, and I'll just repeat that over and over again. I think that's generally been the case, like a lot for the last decade, since I've been around.
Definitely not as bad. Definitely not also a strength of the team.
Certainly. And now it could be.
Yeah. Which
maybe even should be.
I think you hope it is.
Yeah.
Because if it is, that answers some of the, where they are at running back is less of a massive deal, because if you can have an offensive line that just opens holes, your running backs are going to be able to be successful.
The things that give me pause there are I just think like you're looking for reasons to why it won't happen, why it won't be what we think it's going to be or what it could be. And for me, a couple things pop out, and they're both related to continuity.
Sure.
I think Jeep Wade seems like an upgrade as far as the offensive line coach is concerned, but he's new. And so how does it adapt and how does it adjust? And then the second thing is just new players.
Yeah.
Like you're bringing Evans and Pritchett back, which I think is a tremendous start, obviously, but there's no guarantee that the three guys who are plugging those holes are going to be better than what you had. And so there is that too.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's no guarantee. I feel good because at least in the sense of Brendan Black, that's a guy that's played a ton of football. So I think if you could get a better version of what Rocco Spindler was there, and then Paul Mabenga is the one that they seem to be most excited about what they brought in from the transfer. The Tree Babalade is the one where I have no idea. I don't know if he's going to lock that down on the right side. I don't know what your option is if it's not him.
Well, you do have depth. I mean, you got guys who have played behind. You got
yeah.
Kanak, and so there's some guys that you can at least put in the game. It doesn't fall off a cliff completely.
Yeah.
So that's another piece of my confidence in the position as well.
Yeah. Okay. Next player. Let's go to, I mentioned his name earlier, a guy that I think people were really, and I mean really excited about after the bowl game against Boston College in New York City. Someone that talked about what his hopes were for playing at Nebraska, and a player that they're just, people really wanted him to be good, and the coaches were excited about him for sure. He had an okay season. It started in a big way, forced a fumble in the Cincinnati game. You know who I'm talking about yet? Middle of Nebraska's defense.
Can't remember
where's the number one
fumble. Oh, Shavers?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Vincent Shavers going into year 2 after what I thought was a really up and down
year 3, right?
Year 3, but year 2 is like kind of a relied upon player.
Gotcha.
I thought he had a really up and down year, and a lot of it was playing hurt for most of the season.
Yeah, that was noticeable. I didn't think he was in terrific shape.
It didn't feel like he was impactful in the way that the season started, where he forces that fumble, and I feel like you didn't have a lot of moments like that again.
No.
He had the really nice diagnosed play against Michigan.
He would get, in theory, he gets helped out by number one, being in the right place a little bit more often, and number two, having a defensive line that can, in theory, hold up a little bit better and free him up to make some plays. It's hard for me to be really excited about him.
Yeah. It's just it's a dramatically different, than where we were a year ago, where there was a lot of people that are like, this guy is going to make a big jump, and he didn't. And it's not his fault, because you got to have guys that can take up space. But then opposite of that, I also think it'll help that Owen Chambliss and potentially Dexter Foster add more to that linebacker room, where it's not so like nakedly, well, what's Shavers doing, or what's Watson Trent doing, or
the defensive conversation is really fascinating when you talk about individual guys, just because, I mean, everything is going to be new back there.
Yeah.
And it bottomed out so hard
at the end of
the end of the season last year that's your lasting memory of it. And I think there is an obvious path to that defense and those players just being a lot better right away. But is it good? Right? Like, is it
enough?
Is it enough?
In conjunction with an offense where I still don't know if I trust that they can score 28 points a game in Big Ten play.
Yeah.
Or even 25 points a game in Big Ten play. That'd be 3 points more than what they were scoring a year ago. I'm just not sure.
It's hard for me to get excited about any individual guys, but I do think the defense will be better.
Yep.
Are you in the same kind of spot there?
I'm very much in the same boat. There's players that I'm curious about. Like, the more I hear about the linebacker from Oregon, who I think I said his name correctly, Dexter Foster. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oregon State.
Oregon State, yes. The more you hear about him, everyone's really excited about this guy just because of the physical side. He looks different. Looks different on the field. I'm excited in the same way that Elijah Pritchett, it's his second year. Williams Winery, very talented guy, different defensive line coach. Are they able to get more out of that? Same with like a Van Poppel. So there's individual things in there.
Can I guess who you're going to ask me about next?
You can absolutely guess. I don't think you're going to get it right.
Carter Nelson.
Whoa! Whoa!
I had a feeling.
Wow.
Okay. I had a feeling.
So
I had a feeling you were going to ask me that. I had a feeling that was the second guy you were going to ask me about.
All right. So let me explain the thought process here.
Okay.
It was Elijah Pritchett, offensive starter. Vincent Shavers, defensive starter.
Yep.
Pick a third
total
person,
wild card,
but not a starter.
Total wild card.
That was the whole thing. And I was thinking about it as I was driving in, and it's like, well, I already know for sure I want to ask about Pritchett. I'm pretty sure Shavers. I want to have a third person if we need it. Oh, I'll ask him about Carter Nelson. He won't see it coming.
I saw it coming. I saw it coming. I do not have high hopes. I don't
have hopes.
Not much. No.
Do you even have expectations?
No, definitely not.
Yeah, so it's a weird conversation, because this is a guy that was a very highly recruited player, not just from Nebraska or that he's from the state of Nebraska, but You beat out Georgia and Penn State with their tight end situation and Notre Dame. And so far, through 2 years, you haven't really figured out how you want to utilize him.
I just don't see it. Like,
I don't know what player he is.
So there is a utilization thing there that is definitely true, but I just don't know. You know, the injury stuff has obviously been a significant part of his career so far, but like you said, I don't know what he is, and it's just hard for me to have any sort of expectation or forward-thinking thought on him just because of the lack of what we've seen on the field. I have seen, like, they've tried to get him on the field. I just don't, when he's on the field, I don't see anything in there that's like, oh, hang on, there's a flash. Like, there's going to be guy. I've never seen that. And I
think in the first year you saw some stuff in the red zone where it's like, this could work as a split out tight end, but they didn't do it.
He looked like every other tight end.
Sure.
You know, or, you know, hybrid wide receiver tight end.
Yeah.
I just didn't see anything outstanding about him. And so I don't know. I have given up the ceiling part of what they got in him. I've given up on that.
That's interesting because he's only going into his third year.
I know.
So it's also one of those positions where
if they could find a way to turn him into a productive player,
yeah,
kudos. But I've given up the ceiling.
I think the hardest thing is trying to decide how you want to utilize him because he's not really going to be a blocking tight end for you. So then you love what you have in Lindemeyer, so he's not coming off the field. To put Carter Nelson on the field as a receiving threat tight end, you're taking off one of your receivers, and that doesn't necessarily make you better. So for me, a lot of it is utilization, creativity, all of that. And I don't know that, you know, and maybe he's just not someone Dana Holgorsen knows what to do with. There could be that too.
Maybe. I think there's something in the utilization part, but I don't know.
There's too much physical gift talent there for him to not accomplish anything. And I don't think he's going to be like an utter bust by any means. But
see, if he does nothing in his career, let's just play it out in the worst case scenario. Like if he does nothing in his career,
I'd be genuinely surprised.
Is he? But whose fault is that? Is it Nebraska's for not utilizing him correctly? Is it the injuries? Is it?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's always going to be the full picture. But what I like to do in these, you pie chart it, right? So like,
yeah,
the injuries is probably at least 25% of it because if your best ability is availability.
The most famous whose fault is this pie chart that I've done is why did Wan'Dale Robinson transfer?
I like that. A lot of reasons. I think we should plan on Mondays after the season.
Whose fault is it? Pie chart?
No, we can do pie charts of like, here's why the game went well, or here's who failed you today. We can do it on the overreactions too, but
definitely, yeah.
I think one, if I know anything about having written report cards and takeaways and everything immediately after games, people love blame. And they want it assigned immediately.
We very much want to point fingers. Like Joey's finger of telling us to take a break. That's people.
Yeah. Joey's finger gets very upset with about 6 minutes left to go in the hour.
Yeah.
That thing is active.
Uh-huh.
And it's very mad at me usually.
Usually mad at Schaefer.
Yeah. So we should definitely bring that in. But if you're doing a Carter Nelson, why hasn't this happened yet pie chart? I think the injuries have to be
most of it, right?
Like 25 to 30% of it.
Yeah, the biggest chunk.
And then the other chunk is sort of your offensive system has never been defined. I mean, he had Satterfield and he's had Holgorsen. You didn't really have an idea of what that offense was at any point. They switched into being a more predominant run offense, which doesn't help him because here's the other. What Carter Nelson came in as was never a blocking tight end. So he wasn't, and now you have Luke Sorensen, you have Luke Lindemeyer, you have guys that are more aligned in that area. How do you utilize Carter Nelson?
I just think his and some of this has to probably do with the injury, but the injuries, his body just didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to turn. Like, I don't know.
You thought he'd have more bulk?
As far as him as an athlete, it just never, I never really saw maybe what other people saw.
Oh man.
And then
Because he's like on a projection standpoint, it's everything you want.
I know, like I saw him dunk on the basketball court, and I'm like, that's cool.
It's straight explosion. I mean, he's a high jump champion. He's like all of these different metrics would tell you the athleticism is insane.
But then he put football pads on him. Like, I don't see this.
The skinny shoulders, I guess.
I'm not sure. He's got like wide hips, that kind of like it's just odd. So I don't know. I may have sold all my Carter Nelson stuff.
Wow.
If I had any in the first place.
I'd probably be buying some of that up, unlike your plaid stock.
You're
not touching that.
You're buying low.
I'm not buying low on plaid.
John writes in, was your Wan'Dale Robinson blame pie chart the whole pie and the reason was Scott Frost?
Did Vince Marrow get any blame?
I can't remember what the percentages were, but yeah, a lot of it was utilization.
Yeah, we're definitely doing a pie chart on Mondays in the fall.
I specifically like the blame pie chart.
Yeah.
The whose fault is it pie chart is really, really good. All right. We'll take your thoughts, 402-951-1620. We'll take a quick time out. Be back with more after this on 1620 The Zone. Hey, I like that on the Masters app or on the ESPN app when you turn on one of their Masters things. You know, we're watching holes 4, 5, and 6 right now. That during the commercials, they just rip off a never-ending cycle of This is Sports Center golf related commercials. So big shout out to the ESPN app for that. I've been enjoying those in the studio the last 2 days.
Yeah, there's so many excellent commercials from the old days of SportsCenter.
The one that I've seen a bunch now is Arnold Palmer making an Arnold Palmer. No words are said. I don't think at all in the entire thing. Arnold Palmer is making an Arnold Palmer, and then Stuart Scott and I can't remember who the other host was standing in the background, but I saw Stuart Scott and I said, "Oh," and Stuart Scott was just standing there and doing nothing.
Did you have a favorite?
Amazed.
Did you have a favorite anchor from your? Did you get into SportsCenter? Were you a big SportsCenter guy?
Oh yeah. Probably Van Pelt.
Okay.
I love the
Scott
night.
Van Pelt was your guy.
I love the night duel. Stan and Neil.
Okay.
Those guys were great
Yeah,
together.
they had a pretty good rapport for a while, and then they tried to make. They tried to make. Oh, I was thinking of Steve Levy. So Neil Everett became the hockey guy. They had Steve Levy was on one of them. Steve Levy was pretty decent as a SportsCenter host, and then they tried to make him a play-by-play guy, and he was awful.
Yeah.
Remember that year he did Monday Night Football?
Yeah.
I do.
It was terrible.
Him and Brian Grease.
I think that
He was terrible.
one of these things
terrible.
where it is very different to do one than the other is to be a analyst or a studio host, or to be a broadcaster doing either play-by-play or as a color analyst.
Very different.
Like they just wildly different skill set, wildly different ability to how to weigh in or to time things as to when
Nate
to
Burleson.
talk, when not to talk. Just very, very different. It's rare, I think, when you get someone who's really good at both, particularly like a really good color analyst isn't a particularly great in studio because the rhythm is just different.
I would like to try to host a desk show at some point and just see and see what would happen.
It's like, Usher Media, we're not using the basement. Like let's
do
get a
Sports
desk.
Center.
We'll see if we can get.
But we would have to have.
Do you want to host a super show where it's Josh, John, me, Matt, and you're the host?
And I don't get to have opinions. I just get
You're
to.
throwing it around.
That would suck. That would suck.
Part of what made the
Would there be a teleprompter?
part of what made the Hypecast kind of fun is that I sort of just ended up in this host role where it's like,
you're like, what do
less
you think,
involved.
Brutz? Yeah,
And it's kind of like, oh, I don't actually have to think about this. I just put the question together,
yeah.
and then it's on Brunts to give an answer,
And
then
then
I
you kind of
admonish-
react to things.
I admonish BC for always giving me 2 when I ask for 1.
I'd like to host a desk show. You know, like the thing that bothers me
We can
sometimes.
set up all our laptops.
So the teleprompter, I'm always amazed by the old school, like the very conventional way in which television, local TV news people read things off the teleprompter. I don't know why they speak the way they speak.
Okay.
I feel like I would be the first local news person to just read normal. So I could bring that to the table.
Train you to read? Is this
I
a
don't
Lauren
know.
Michelson question?
I'm not. That's a great question. We could have a conversation about this.
I'll put a reminder.
And so, thank you, Joey, because we'll forget about this in 8 seconds.
100%.
I
And
got the Brunts Bluetooth for Monday.
Thank you.
what was that again?
Brunts hates Bluetooth speakers, and you guys were going to handshake meme over it.
Perfect. I forgot about it right away.
Yeah, see?
And then,
Speaking of forgetting
but the
things.
thing that bothers me sometimes, like when I do these baseball broadcasts, please keep doing your jobs if anyone's listening to this. People in my ear yelling at me to do things and say things. I hate it. I don't get that on daily radio. It's tremendous. It's great. I could just say whatever I want.
I could recall not enjoying that when I was doing my college capstone, doing TV news. I was anchoring a couple times, and I was a little green screen reporter a few times. Not fun having the IFB and getting that executive
interest.
director yelling.
Hey, so any of the local news stations, if you would like a guest anchor during the summer when nobody's watching and you're not expecting anyone to watch, I don't know if that exists, if there's like a week where the ratings don't count or something like that. call me.
Here's what I want to do.
I'm down.
I'll
wear a suit.
I want to talk to Channel 7, and we trade you for Lauren Michelson. She does your job for a day. You do her job for a day.
I have to hover.
She would do great at my
Lauren
job.
sits in. I thought about
Obviously.
asking her to be a fill-in host.
But she's
I would have
not
to be on my
Mike.
toes the entire
What is
time.
that?
She's not. Her name is not Mike.
No, I know. So that will make it difficult. But when that gets broken, she can certainly have the opportunity. I think the bigger thing is like, hey, I know you work late into the evening. Would you like to show up at 6 a.m.?
But if she's not doing her job because I'm doing it,
True.
then this could work.
This could. So I think we should talk to them and see if we can do some sort of trade for just one day. You go be a sports desk anchor, and Lauren is a sports radio host.
It'd be fascinating.
We'll have to see if she's interested.
'Cause I
Maybe
bet
she
that-
doesn't want to make this trade.
I bet the news people think like these guys got it easy. They just talk about whatever the hell they want. And meanwhile, the people in our world look at the news people and they're like, look at these news people. They're on air
100%.
for 3.5 minutes.
100%.
But they work I know how hard they work for those 3.5 minutes. And I know what they have to do every day to just get 3.5 minutes out of it. And that would be so frustrating. That would be so difficult to do.
when I was very green in the industry, and it was like, I have to report. I'm really important. These other professions don't have to do as much as me.
Yeah.
And then you go and you watch like a radio show actually come together, and then you go do it yourself. And the first time I was ever hosting a show, just getting to a break was a disaster. Something as simple as that. And it's like, we'll be back. We're going to talk about something. Stick around.
But now you're a radio man.
And now I just have Joey's finger letting me know when it's time to go to a break.
That's true. If you need to go to a break, just ask Joey. A couple things from you all. Actually, I gotta. Oh, okay. Never mind. There was a tweet from earlier. Okay. I wanted to talk about this real quick before we get to our Friday shoutouts. By the way, get in your Friday shoutouts. # Friday shoutouts. Last call, basically, to get those in. Tweeted us at HappenSchafe. If that's the easiest way to do so, and use # Friday shoutouts. Do we want to give away something for an incentive?
Yeah.
We do have something to give away.
Yeah, we have the 4-pack Supernova
Let's do
tickets for Sunday's game.
Send in a Friday shout out and you could win a 4-pack of Supernovas tickets for Sunday's game. Iowa forward Alvaro Folgueras will enter the NCAA transfer portal. This is according to our friend Sean Bach. We should have Sean Bach on the show sometime.
Yeah, we could do that.
Folgueras, obviously, made the big shot against Florida, got the dunk against Nebraska.
Multiple dunks against Nebraska.
The one where there was only 4 people on the
but
floor.
he posterized Rink Mast earlier in the game too.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. So he is going into the portal, which is interesting. I guess I don't know how old is he? How long has he been around in college? Anyway, he's going into the portal. Iowa is in shambles.
Is it weird if my first instinct is I wonder if he ends up at Illinois?
I wonder if he ends up at Nebraska.
He would be a decent fit.
Would
Would Nebraskans welcome him with open arms in their
I'm sure.
Iowa
get over
to
things
Nebraska
fast.
pipeline that was established by Price Sand? Actually, it was established by Euless a couple of years earlier.
That's true.
And then Sanford followed it. Could Folgueras follow as well?
So this is his 3rd year this year, and he had played 2 years at Robert Morris before. It's amazing how many big shots he made and how much of a profile he ended up gaining for himself over the last couple of weeks of the season. I mean, he was a big factor in the game in Lincoln as well. I don't really remember him being much of a factor.
He wasn't in Iowa City
in the first game.
Nope.
Yeah.
I remember it was something you had said in the lead up before I'd even left to go down to Houston is that, part of what's different with Iowa is Folgueras. And he certainly had the confidence when he was shooting the ball, especially from the corner.
He played, let's see. He played 21 minutes and scored 7 points in the first game in Iowa City, the Iowa win. He only scored 6 in the loss in Lincoln.
Just felt like he was more noticeable.
He played 30 minutes and he got more shots off. He went 0 for 3 from 3. And then obviously in the tournament, he played 29 minutes, made 2 of 3 3-pointers, 4 of 4 from 2-point, and had 16 points.
Blech.
in that game and 3 steals.
Bleh,
Finish it off with a famous dunkaroo
bleh.
on
Bear
K. Buchton Gel.
But
now both of them are
technically-
in the portal.
Technically, it would have been someone else's responsibility had Nebraska chosen to have 5 on the floor instead of Fred's homage to Hoosiers, in which Gene Hackman only chose to play with 4.
We have our 4.
Yep.
Our 4, those are our players. So he's in the transfer portal. If I asked you to give me a number on how many 3-point shots you think Alvaro Fulgaris attempted this year, what would you say?
77.
108. I would have guessed higher.
I don't know that he was playing enough, and then it seems like he was more of a 3 or 4 a game kind of guy.
When you totaled it up on the year, he only played in 51% of their minutes
Yeah.
this past year, and he shot 33% from 3. But his profile is undoubtedly a lot higher now than it was a month ago, and so he goes into the transfer portal, and he found himself an opportunity to make a little bit more money.
Money.
That's what it's all about, folks. Money. So we'll see where he ends up. I do wonder if there's how much Big Ten on, we saw a little bit of Big East on Big East crime in the transfer portal with Oswin. How much Big Ten on Big Ten crime is there going to be?
I would expect quite a bit.
Maybe there will be a little bit. All right. We'll take a break. It's time for our Friday shout outs, ladies and gentlemen. Get those in at Happenschafe on Twitter. If you'd like to shout something out, we'll treat this next segment like it's FM radio. We're shouting things out, whatever it is. People, maybe it's someone's birthday. Maybe someone you'd like to congratulate someone on their upcoming nuptials. Maybe you'd like to shout out a company. Maybe you'd like to shout out a Diet Coke. You had a really delicious Diet Coke yesterday. Shout out to that. So send those in at Happenschafe coming up. We will get to those next on Happer and Schaefer on 1620 The Zone. All right, folks, we got a few minutes. It's time for our Friday shout-outs here on Happer and Schaefer. As we mentioned, we already heard from our friends at Liquid Trucking. How about one from Michael Severe? Shout out to Joey and the National Interstate System.
Yes.
I do love the interstate system. I don't
quick
know
and
it
efficient
as
depending
much
on the time
as-
of the day.
I don't know it as much as Joey, but I do love it.
Read an atlas.
I love it.
I don't even know if the interstate system is 100 years old yet. at
No,
this point.
I don't
it's
think
not.
it's 60s, right?
It was a project in the late
Dwight-
50s or
Yeah,
in the-
Dwight Eisenhower. I think,
Yeah, it
is
was-
kind of where it got spearheaded.
Yep.
So,
Thank you, President E.
that would have been 52 to 60 in that range. Those
Good
are
job. Nice
those
job,
are-
Schaefer.
that's your time.
Shout out to you, Schaefer, for knowing presidents.
I do know some things about presidents.
Here's Pedro. Hi, guys. Shout out to the people working behind the scenes at 1620 The Zone. I was able to finish my project because they got the radio station working yesterday.
Oh, thank
Unplugging the
goodness.
radio station and plugging it back in works.
It's not all that inaccurate.
No, that's pretty much exactly what happened,
Pretty
actually.
much where we were. I have a shout out I would like to deliver.
Okay.
I think I've said on this show before that there's someone that I met in Lincoln who I later found out that I was calling him by the wrong name.
Mhm.
And then he admitted that when he went to college, nobody pronounced his name correctly. So he just started going with how people would
Okay.
call him, So his actual last name is Yakel, but everyone just thinks it's pronounced Jokel. So everyone calls him Joke or Jokel.
Okay.
And Mark was at a conference in Maryland and hit his first hole-in-one I saw on Instagram.
Whoa.
So congratulations, Mark Jokel and Mark Yakel.
Mr.
He
Yakel.
can be either one of those or both.
But now he's got nicknames coming off
I know,
of
that's-
Jokel.
Right. So
You can't go back
What is he
and
supposed to do?
you can't go back and do Yake.
This was the exact conversation I had with him. And then
Although that's kind of a fun nickname.
he's like,
Yake.
what am I gonna just tell everyone they've been wrong for years? You could.
I mean, you could. You could.
He's like, I'm fine with it. I'll answer.
There's no way to have like unfortunately for him, like for athletes when we do this, it's easier because they have a blowhorn.
Yeah, they have an avenue of
Yeah,
which people
right.
can learn.
Listen, my name is now Mitch Ballock instead of Mitch Ballack, right?
Sure.
That's although he was never really that specific about it, and I don't think he cares all that much, but it was a revelation at one point in his career. And normal people just don't have the avenue to tell people.
What was it, Quincy Anunwa?
Anunwa. Yeah. Who was the one recently? I forgot it again.
No idea.
There was an NFL guy.
Samori Toure or
There was an NFL guy recently who said, actually, everyone's been saying my name wrong forever.
Yeah, and this is what prompted the conversation
Yes.
about Mark, and here we are. But hole-in-one for Mark. Shout out, Mark.
I love hole-in-ones. I wish I could get one day.
hey, shout out to Mr. Desk for fixing our wall, our little drop wall.
Thank you, Mr. Desk. Now fix our phones.
Yeah. He's currently
Mr. Fix-It.
checking.
Here is a text from the 308. Just heard the shout out bit. So shout out to the boss man. His boss is Steve for getting a new hotspot for the clinic and saving my sanity.
Good.
Nice.
Way to go, Steve.
Well done. That was from our friends in Kearney. Here is Alex Sindelar. Hashtag Friday shoutouts. Shout out to lawnmowers. Thanks for making grass small.
They have value. I mowed my lawn for the first time this week. Did it on Monday because I was expecting all the rain.
I remember lawn.
I think there's more rain this weekend.
Is it sad looking out your window
It
at your
is
like mud puddle?
incredibly sad because all I could think yesterday, as the rain was falling and falling and falling and torrentially downpouring, I thought, boy, if I had a non-dirt lawn right now, my supposed grass lawn would love this.
Instead, the dirt lawn doesn't care. It just washes
And it might
away.
even extend the time even further into which I won't have a grass lawn. I will have a dirt lawn. This is disgusting.
You've been to where I live. You know the neighborhood is very much under development.
Yes.
There was a foundation was dug out the other day, a couple houses down or a couple lots down, and so you get all this rain, and that dirt was just sitting in a pile. And so it just starts raining, and then the dirt obviously starts to just slide down into the water, and it's just this mudslide going down that hill.
It's so sad.
It was kind of hilarious to watch.
It's so sad. Whopper. Weekly shout out to Norbit.
We had to work that one back in last Friday. I missed it on the initial, but I made sure to get the shout out for Norbit.
Shout out to Norbit, as it normally does. Okay, as your Friday shout outs. And of course, shout out to all of you, because you guys make the world go around. We appreciate it. All right, 402-951-1620. We'll be back 9 o'clock hour. We'll still be joined by Jake Sorensen coming up on 1620 The Zone. All right, Friday at 9 here on Happer and Schaefer, 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com. This is not one of the bigger sports weekends of the year, but it's the Masters. It's a big event, sports weekend. And I feel bad because the Monday through Friday way in which we do this show does not lend itself to really talking about it. And we come back on Monday, and of course, we'll talk about it.
Sure.
But oftentimes the stuff outside of college football Saturdays, oftentimes the stuff that happens on Saturday kind of gets skipped over. And I feel sad about that because there's going to be moving day and things like that happening in the golf tournament this weekend. And probably by the end of it, it'll be Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy.
You think so?
Battling it out against each other. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that our picks of Cam Young and Colin Morikawa are going to be particularly.
Hey, you basically asked me to just name a golfer, and I did.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
He played. He at least went off the tee box.
I saw him complaining yesterday about how difficult it was to walk, and I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah, well,
And speaking of complaining, there's just a lot of people in golf who just love doing that.
It is not a. It's a sport where you're aggrieved by many things.
Apparently. So, speaking of aggrieved, Bryson DeChambeau. So, did you see his bit yesterday?
I mean,
so
when doesn't he have a bit?
I had this topic of like, you know what? I'm kind of starting to come around on DeChambeau.
Terrible take.
Probably was ill-fated in the first place.
Just a bad take.
I was like, you know what? I'm kind of starting to enjoy this guy. He's not beefy anymore. He's not trying to like.
It was never that he was beefy. It's
I
that he's
know.
a pompous ass.
Yeah. Well, and that showed itself yesterday.
Person in the room.
Okay, so that showed itself yesterday. So there's this line of questioning, obviously, about his new fun 3D printed irons.
Sure.
Which he was like, yeah, they're good. What of it? It doesn't matter. Somebody asked him, so Bryson, I'm curious, like, how long does it take to, make this? And he was like, well, a couple hours to do this, and maybe overnight to do this. And so when you total it all together, it's probably about a day and a half. And then someone had the gall to ask him afterwards, oh, okay, a day and a half. Like, would you consider, making a new one at some point this weekend? Like, could you do that?
Yeah.
And he goes, no. What? No, why would you ask? There's all these clearances that you have to take. He's rolling his eyes the entire time. I'm like, geez, man, it's just an innocent question. Take it easy.
It's also, I mean, you could make it, but it wouldn't necessarily be to play with it.
Right.
Either.
Right.
But yeah, I mean,
he was
certain mechanics that have to,
and he was incredulous about that part. He's like, don't you know?
Incredulous about a lot.
Idiot. Don't you know that you have to go through all these hoops to get a club to be legal?
It was a year where he referred to Augusta as like a par 68 or whatever. And he was just spraying the ball all over the course.
Wow.
And you realize that like he's hitting it in places that the television never shows because Augusta has like very strict standards on where the television shots are allowed. Like they don't want certain parts of the course televised because they don't want everything of the course exposed.
Sure.
Some of it is they have porta potties hidden strategically throughout the course that you aren't supposed to see exist on the television shots.
No,
because that would take away from the pristine nature of Augusta.
Correct.
And Bryson just kept hitting it in these amazing pine straw spots where it's like even the commentators like, well, there's another one of the porta potties.
It's amazing how they do that. That is one of the
things that makes me want to go there really bad.
I know.
Like,
it's just like subliminally happening
Yep.
to you, and you look at the course over the years, and you're like, oh yeah, I've seen aerial shots of the course. It's just a course, right? Like no, it has all of everything else that every other major golf course has. You just don't see it.
They just hide it.
And even as much as the TV towers being covered in green and things like I'm just noticing right now, and you're looking at it's fun. So golf is so fun to me to follow, especially I love following the people who follow golf way more regularly and have opinions on all these people, because obviously there's some statistical things in the golfers, and you could tell who's going to be better on what course and who's playing well and things like that. And you don't have teams in golf. We're not recognizing that live is a thing. You just have players, and people gravitate toward golfers that they personally like, which is a fascinating dynamic to golf for me. It's not like, oh, I was born a Yankees fan, so I'm a Yankees fan. You can't be born a fan of a golfer, right? It's passed down generations. Yeah, my dad really liked Jack or whatever. My dad really liked whoever. And people of this generation will be saying my dad really liked Tiger back when he wasn't wrecking cars all over the place. But, I always find it so funny because the conversations about the golfers get really, really intense this weekend. This guy's an ass. This guy sucks. He's been complaining about this for years and years and years and years. And I just watch it all happen because I have no opinions on these guys because I don't really know them. This is why I wanted to bring up the Bryson thing with you, because I was like, oh, I remember the wind was really blowing in a negative direction on him, and now it doesn't seem to be. And you're like, no.
But the thing is, other people have broached this topic before, and I'm like, no, I don't accept it.
Okay.
The book has been written.
Okay.
I'm out. I'm out before. I'm out. I will be again. I will forever be out.
So who are your guys? Who are your faves?
Historically, like Ernie Els, one of my favorites. I tolerated Sergio in a way that others just did not.
Okay.
I tend to be more accepting of foreign golfers than a lot of my my friends who are very like
touchy subject,
which is great because they all love Jason Day and they Americanize Jason Day, but
they don't know he's not American.
Well, they know that he isn't, but he's cool. So
Jason Day, I believe, one-time winner of the Cox Classic.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Yeah,
I think that's correct.
Shout out to the Cox Classic,
which sounds like it was quite the event.
It was,
and so I regret
it was
that
a great
never had
time.
the opportunity to experience it.
Over at
people talk about it
Champions.
in like the way that older people talk about the hallowed grounds of Rosenblatt or whatever. Like it's just a very huge event that was occurring, and it felt like there was a lot of fanfare for it. And I don't feel like I get the same sense out of the Pinnacle Bank.
It's so funny because the Cox Classic happened all of my life growing up. I don't believe I ever went.
Okay.
I don't believe I ever went, but
I married into a family that went every year.
For the last several years of it, my parents' house was right across the street.
Oh, wow.
It was just that. I was like, oh, yeah, the Cox Classic is going on right now.
I could be there, but I'm not.
And then it moved down the road on Maple Street and turned into the Pinnacle Bank Championship.
Now it's gone.
It's kind of gone.
Well, yeah, it's just not the Cox Classic.
We still have a golf tournament.
Yeah.
It's not. Is it still like the Cox Classic grew a reputation for sort of being, like you mentioned, kind of classic Omaha, like, what things happen in Omaha, they turn into drunk fests over generally because that's what it is. I don't know the general sentiment on the Pinnacle Bank Championship. I haven't been out to that. You would think it'd be a little bit, I don't know, more sort of
I know people
pristine.
like the tents. I've heard.
Okay, people like the tents.
The people are a fan of the tents. I know you're a Brooks Koepka guy. Do you have other golfers that you really care about?
I have always liked Brooks. But I can recognize that Brooks turns into a huge D-bag a lot.
He's fickle.
He's
fickle. I've been a big fan of Gary Woodland for a long time, so I was excited about him. Obviously, the fact that Shane Lowry and I have 2% similarity in how we look.
I have no problem with Rory.
I like Rory a lot.
Yeah.
Of the top guys, Rory is my favorite.
I like Rory's I'm a bit of a contrarian. Like I like the guys who kind of go with people have really made a run on liking the guys who go anti-establishment. Like Brooks is probably one of those guys, there's a lot of anti-establishment guys right now. Rory is very pro-establishment. Yeah. I like that.
I was a Dustin Johnson guy until he
I'm a big establishment guy. Shout out to establishments. Friday shout out.
I love the establishment.
I love the establishment. I have no problem with the man.
I love the big guy.
I love the big guy.
My favorite part is he keeps you down.
Yep. Pedro writes in, "Hi guys, did you know Arnold Palmer had a big driver?" I didn't know that until Mr. T told me.
Mr. T did talk about that.
Not Big
it
T.
is just at a very random time in one of his big parties.
Commenting from Platcat here. Pinnacle Bank gathers a CWS type of crowd, some in expensive sponsor tents and some dudes way too many bush lights deep. Standard Omaha ballots. Okay, good. Thank you. It's so funny because like all these events always come to Omaha and they happen, and like the College World Series, and I'm there every time, and the NCAA tournament coming to town,
swim trials, Rowdy,
the swim trials and things like that. And yet we've had these 2 golf tournaments going on literally right outside in my area of town, right outside my house all of these years, and I've never gone to any of them. What's wrong with me? And I love golf.
You go to the Senior Open?
I did go to the Senior Open that one time. Yeah, that was great.
They're gonna come back, I think.
I think that's right.
They're slated to come back to Omaha.
We got to get a PGA event going on.
Yeah, that'd be great.
How do we get it? Who are we going to talk to?
Does Usher want to sponsor it?
Yes. We will speak for Alan. Yeah. We will speak with Alan and say, well,
we think the John Deere Classic wants to move.
That's right.
If they
can steal it from Iowa.
Wow. That would kick the rivalry up. We just took your PGA event.
If they get the John Deere Classic and Alvaro Folgueras, now we're cooking.
You got to get both.
We already got Josh Dix and Owen Freeman, and
we're taking the Mississippi
and Price
River
Sanford.
Bears.
We're taking the Mississippi River Bears too.
They're going to be the Missouri Swamp
We're taking
Bears.
Folgueras, and we're taking the John Deere Classic as well. And
I love this.
Move to Omaha,
a full-on assault of Iowa,
or maybe it'll move to somewhere in between Omaha and Lincoln, and they could collab on this one.
We're taking Ashland.
Move it to you can put it at the Lost Rail.
Lost Rail, okay.
Doesn't smell like an event
like
place.
Those places don't want events.
They do not.
Generally.
They do not.
They don't want to be disrupted from their golf experience.
Good one from Jose on YouTube. The John Deere Classic is in Illinois.
Well, yeah.
It's in the Quad Cities, right?
Like across the river.
Yeah, the Mississippi River Bears, home of the Mississippi River Bears. Also,
if it's an event at the Mid-American Center, you say it's in Nebraska.
Nathan Zajasker writes in, no such thing as too many bush lights deep.
Ask Oklahoma City.
Well, actually, they would have thought that
or the guy that Stibbs and I watched wheel in all the bush light at the bar in Houston.
Yeah, I would imagine that they would have thought that there would have been too many bush lights deep simply because they didn't have enough bush lights.
They thought they had enough.
They were wrong. They were wrong. By the way, there was a whole group of teams in Major League Baseball over these last couple days that released updated City Connect uniforms. And I'm ready to say it. I'm done.
You're done with the Connects?
Yep. I was probably done in the first place.
They're terrible.
That's the best drop we have, by the way. They are. Most of them are awful. I mean, truly bad. I thought that on the first round too. I don't know. It's just obviously.
I think of my favorites from them. I like the Padres rainbow assortment of colors or whatever they had, like the electric colors of that. I actually weirdly like the Rockies,
the green ones.
Yeah, the green ones.
Yeah, I like the first round. You could pick some out, and some of them were okay. Like I like the direction that the Royals were going with their first ones, with the kind of navy with the powder blue sprinkled in, like in the fountains. And now they have rolled out a new set of monstrosities with a monstrosity of a hat. The rest of the jersey is like not bad. It just has a bunch of weird colors.
I like the color of it. I don't love the logo that much, and I definitely don't like the hat.
At least they don't have anything other than white or gray or powder blue pants. Thank the dear Lord.
People really like the Pirates ones because
disgusting.
It's a callback to sort of the 90s where they had the actual pirate logo that makes me think of Jason Kendall every time.
The hats are good. I like their hats.
Yeah.
The hats are good on those Pirate jerseys. The Atlanta ones aren't bad.
Yeah.
I got Christian Yelich wearing a shirt that says Wisco on it, which is a great meme that will span the history of time. And then a Wyatt Langford, they just have a red jersey for the Rangers and it just says Tejas.
the Reds is equally as like, oh, your C has some wavy lines to it.
I think they just ran out of stuff to do from a design perspective and wanted to put random words on these jerseys. It's very, very confusing to me. For example, on the Baltimore Orioles uniforms, they have turned themselves into looking like the Long Island Ducks, and their shirts say "Be More" on them. Be more.
They should have went with
their
Old
jerseys
Bay.
look like a motivational speech.
It should have just been Old Bay as the entirety of what it was.
It should have been.
Or they should have tried to fashion a jersey to look like a crab cake. Those were their options.
Yes, and yet they went with Be More.
Be more.
Ken says, why did the Brewers say Wisco? Isn't it a city connect? Great point. Unless you think Wisconsin is a city, which it isn't.
No, it is not. And neither is Wisco.
But they already did MLK or whatever they did for on their last jerseys. MKE, I think. Yeah.
Here's just sort of a thought. You can bat this down if you don't agree.
Okay.
Part of like the problem is when you make everyone do alternate jerseys, it's gonna end up looking dumb. Now, if someone just organically has like an alternate jersey that they introduce, and it's not like part of this initiative to try to sell more jerseys for Nike and more gear overall for baseball, that's usually where it's better.
I'm absolutely picking up what you're putting down right now.
When you make everyone do it, when everyone in the NFL has to do color rush, when it's usually just when it loses
the
any
rivals.
sort of luster.
Good one. I agree.
Let it be special. That's why it's an alternate jersey.
So
if they both play in alternate jerseys, nobody wins.
My beloved Kansas City Royals will be scoring 0 runs tonight while wearing weird jerseys.
Yeah.
So be excited.
They're terrible.
They are. They're terrible.
They're not terrible.
The team and the
theirs
jerseys
are not terrible.
I'll probably show up one
You're
day.
an idiot.
I'll probably show up one day with a variation of a City Connect something on, and you'll be like, "You are a sellout honk," and I'll say,
I like Cleveland
know.
City Connect. I'm good with it.
Well, they'll probably get a new one soon.
It'll probably be worse.
It'll probably be worse, indeed. All right, we'll be back, and we'll talk with Jake Sorensen, who's in the mountains. Vibes are high for Jake right now, but he's not excited about the Royals. After this on 1620 The Zone.
I'm kind of psychotic. So what else is new? I think you guys both know that my psychology is probably really can't assess how it operates. I don't even know how my brain works at all most days either. I'm a Miami Dolphins fan, guys. We have not won a playoff game in 25 years. I don't believe ever in moral victories because they're a waste of time. My whole life would be a moral victory at that point. You're going to lose. It's the way sports go. It's very hard to go undefeated. I got the Royals going to the World Series this year. I don't care. I will follow this team wherever they go, and I will not complain about where they play. I don't want them to lose a game, but I kind of want to lose a game for the sake of
Jake
pressure.
Sorensen for losing.
Fridays with Jake Sorensen.
If I see him, I would not shake his hand.
93.7 The Ticket on Happer and Schaefer. 1620 The Zone.
We do morning show, guys. We're always on low sleep. It's the way it is.
All right, let's play another game of Where in the World is Jake Sorensen from 93.7 The Ticket, who joins us now on the Parade Flower Casino Zone hotline. Morning, Jake.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
What's up?
I'm doing well. I'll tell you the truth. You asked me the question, where am I at? I'm outside Airbnb in Steamboat Springs, Colorado right now.
Interesting. Okay, so are the festivities for Lanny's party underway yet? What's going on?
Yes. So I think 4 of the guys arrived about 2 p.m. yesterday, and they played 3 hours of Polish horseshoes, they said, at the house, and then and sat in the hot tub for an hour and a half after that. So I missed out on all of that portion. I got here about 9 o'clock last night. We went to a bar downtown, and then we went to, this is not a surprise you, a karaoke bar for 2.5 hours last night. So the fact I have a voice is great, because I did about, me and Lanny did about 8 or 9 songs together on the stage. And then came back and went to bed about 2, and so it's 8:20 this time. So woke up to do the show with you gentlemen.
Did you do Lido?
We did. First song we did. This is going to disappoint you. I mean that's our go-to, but also for some reason this karaoke place did not have like hardly any Weezer songs, so we couldn't do the Sweater song, Undone. Very sad. Very sad.
Imagine finding a karaoke place that doesn't have enough.
Yeah, that's shocking, actually. No Weezer.
There's no Weezer. I mean, Weezer's pretty popular. There's like one song, and it was their Africa cover. I'm like, that's not even Weezer. That's Toto. What are we doing here?
It's true. Yeah.
It is.
All right. I look forward to the updates on Lanny's bachelor party. I'm sorry I couldn't be there, but man, okay. I imagine it's going to be a good time this weekend.
As someone who absolutely loves Steamboat, what's on the agenda for the next couple days?
Well, I know we have we're playing pickleball at 10:30 this morning for a couple hours.
This is incredible.
I know
they do athletic things. That's what they do.
Yeah. Oh, it's all
that's Lanny.
A random hodgepodge of things.
It's Lanny though.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get it.
I know we're going to check out a couple breweries in town. Obviously, some nice bars in the next couple of days. I don't know. Curtis did a pretty good job with the itinerary to make it pretty detailed. I don't have it memorized, but I'll tell you, there's not much boring times. We'll be doing stuff the whole time. It's fun. And come back Sunday. I'm sure we need some major recovery on Sunday to watching the Masters. The last 9 holes.
Yeah, I sent some money your way to get some beers. You got to do it at Sun Pies. Go get some banquets at Sun Pies. I would love. I love a photo of you outside at Sun Pies, the Yampa River behind you with some banquets.
Yeah,
that's what
I did have about 6 banquets last night, so I'm off to a good start with those.
And there wasn't even any pictures on Twitter at Mike Schaefer.
None.
No, I'm sorry. No, I should have done that. Today's a new day, gentlemen. Today is a new day.
All right.
A full day here.
But today is another day in which it's very likely that yours and mine, beloved Kansas City Royals, will score 0 runs. What are your thoughts? What are we, 12 or so games into the season now, on your apparently future world champion Kansas City Royals?
I saw your tweet, and it hit me hard because I don't get it. The Royals, as you said, don't score runs in April. They had 13 runs in that one win against the Twins, which they still almost blew a 13-1 lead in. And that was fun. Why can't they hit? They had 15 strikeouts against Cleveland the other day. 15.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
No, it was not wonderful.
I texted you about it.
Well, Schaefer is trying to convince me that Joey Cantillo is good. And I'm like, no, dude, you don't understand. These guys can't hit.
No, I watched the games. I'm like, they as Schaefer texted the same thing. The timing is off. Like the Royals,
their
are
timing's
behind.
bad.
Like I'm watching these pitches right down the middle, and they're not even fouling. I said, what are we doing here? Are we blind? We need to get an eye test here. Now,
he got old man Salvi who swings at everything still, so you have to deal with that.
I'm not mad at Salvi. Salvi's old. He has all the excuses in the world. But why is Tag so slow and everything? Why does Bobby Witt have one extra base hit through 13 games? Why does Mikel's been all right this year? He's hitting fine. Isbell's been good, but Vinny Pasquantino is still playing for Italy right now. I don't know what the hell he's doing. He's a lost.
If he was playing for Italy, he'd be lighting things up.
Yeah, he'd be hitting home runs.
Now that he's just playing for his American club, he doesn't seem to have the same vested interest.
I have no. The guy has 3 home runs in the game for Italy. He comes back, forgets how to hit a baseball in the USA. So I don't know what's going on with him.
It sounds like
he's been disappointing.
Jake, it sounds like you're ramping up for. I mean, you've had grudges against a variety of different positional coaches for the Royals over the years, most notably Cal Eldred. Is Alex Zumwalt going to fall into your Cal Eldred category?
Well, if Cal was 1A, there's no doubt that Zumwalt is 1B. He's climbing that list pretty quickly. I have cursed his name at least 3 times a day the last 2 weeks. Yesterday was the latest one. I was actually on the plane and watched the end of the game, and when Bobby struck out to end the game, like I let out profanity. I regret it. It was loud. It was the big one, and I looked around and said, I apologize. I got into this game too much, and no, that's a situation. And Bobby Witt is an MVP candidate every year, and he's off to a slow start. That tells you where you're at when he has a chance down 2-0 against the bad White Sox team, guy on base, 2 outs, and he has just the most pathetic at bat I've ever seen. That was never had a chance. Strikes out, fouls out to end the game, and just was down 0-2 right away. They're lost. They don't have the moxie, the charisma that I think they're going to be a decent team, but wow, they are bad right now.
Yeah, soon it will turn to May, and things will warm up, and for some reason, the curse will be over and lifted in the month of April. I don't get it.
Let's go from a team that makes you sad to a team that made you very happy at times this year. How did you process the last 48 hours or so with Berkay, with Sam Orm, your new addition for Nebraska basketball? And we'll even throw in the fact that Alvaro Folgueras has left Iowa. That's something bad that happened to Iowa. I know that makes you happy.
Where did he go to? I missed that news.
He's in the portal.
He just went to the portal.
Oh, just portal. Okay. Well, with Berkay, I've been hearing some rumors that he was potentially on the way out, and obviously know that mostly about his Turkish agent is kind of a problem. What it appears for all the money he wants, and maybe he'll end up in somewhere great, and he's fine. But that sucks. You can live with Justin Bolus and go in the portal and Quentin Rhymes, guys we never saw. Those aren't surprises. But you always there's going to be some surprises that go in. And Berkay is 61 game starter. That's unfortunate, and he's not exactly a great scorer. He's a good rebounder, good defensive guy, good locker room guy. What it appeared with him, and so that's a bummer to lose someone that was a part of 2 really good basketball teams. One really good one. The first year was okay, but I like Orem. I didn't get a chance to research a ton. I was flying when that news came in, and I didn't research a ton. But it sounds like he comes from Belmont and pretty good stats. I'm optimistic. That's the Mo Valley, correct, Happer?
It is the Missouri Valley. It's weird, but yes.
If I'm correct, I think that's where Rick Mass came from, was the Valley. So we like to raid the Valley now.
That is true. I didn't even think about that part of it when talking about
Valley.
Mr. Orm.
Valley of the minor leagues of Nebraska basketball.
Maybe.
Raid the Valley.
So in general, then, now that we've had some space between now and the season, what does this do for your overall expectations of the program? What did this season mean for that? Or have you bumped up to, they need to be in the tournament every year now? Where are you at with the basketball?
Well, when you hire Fred Hoiberg, you're trying to make a splash and trying to make an impression, make a change to your program. And it took years for that to happen. The first 3 years, we all know, were just not good. Year 4 was 500. Then finally they started getting some success. And let's not forget that last year, this team should have been a tournament team. They had a bad, 5 or 6 game losing skid and ended up missing the Big Ten tournament, go to the Crown and win that. But that team was trending towards a tournament the entire year, if you look at the projections. So that would have been 3 straight years to dance. Of course, this year, a 4 seed. I don't know if I can say I expect to be a 4 seed every year, but that's a lot. But I do think that we should, as a fan base, expect Fred to be in the dance more often than not. I can't say I expect like 10 straight years. That's hard to do, especially with the way the portal operates. But I think that we should be disappointed now when he does not make the tournament.
How do you handle the portal as it relates to Nebraska basketball? Are you constantly looking for information? Do you try to make snap judgments whenever they do get someone right away? Or is it like, you know what? This thing turned out different how I thought multiple times over. Whatever they do. I'll figure it out when they start playing games in November.
So I think I'm proud of myself, Schaefer, because I think that I'm at 34 years old. I think I finally found some maturity. I think I'm on the latter part there. I'm just letting it go. Usually I'd freak out, but free agency, any sport. Okay, that's a bad pickup. This guy's going to suck. No, I'm pretty much calm. I like the kid they got from Belmont. I'm not overreacting to the barricade news. I'm not overreacting to guys that they're talking to. I trust Fred. I think that he got a problem out of this program a couple years ago via Matt Abdelmassi. I like the fact he's more in charge now of the talent assessment, and you could see that they just meshed better. Like the program has meshed well the last couple of years since Abdelmassi has departed from Nebraska. So finally, I think he's got it figured out, and I'm just going to trust Fred. I believe in Fred, and I think that he's got a good feel for the portal. He's not going after guys who are going to cost a ton of money, but hopefully get guys that are the diamonds in the rough.
Jake, who's winning the Masters?
I like McElroy a lot. I think the fact that he's just so calm, he's got the monkey off his back. He had a great round 1. I'm saying Rory goes back to back just because he's a new man. The pressure's off. He's an elite golfer, and now he's comfortable at Augusta. So give me back-to-back green jackets for the man from Northern Ireland, Rory McIlroy. Who you guys got?
Wow. Well, I just randomly picked Colin Morikawa before the weekend started, and turns out he's like half dead. So that was a bad pick.
What did he shoot yesterday?
He's 2 over, I think.
Better than John Rahm.
Yeah, better than John Rahm and better than DeChambeau.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
Yeah. Schaefer, who you have?
I with a little bit more rationale behind it, went with Cam Young, but it's more of I like Cam Young, so I'd sort of just pick a guy that I want to root for, kind of thing.
Boy, he had a bad start, but he
bounced back really well. I feel good about it. If he has a good time here, I'll talk myself into this being the right pick.
Cam Young, it was like 4 over, 5 over.
Yeah, he had a really bad front.
He fought back, Schaefer. You got a chance still, Cam. The bad stuff's gone with him. He's gonna play good golf now.
Do you still operate your the ticket pool, Masters pool?
It's dead.
What?
Yeah, it's a store subject. No, I don't, because nobody cares about golf at the ticket besides me.
You really do need Tom. Maybe you should just get Tom.
Think about it. He lost you. He lost Tom. He lost me. He lost I don't know if Mark cared, but
he'd like to be in pools.
Mark did not do golf. Mark had Tom do his bracket for him.
That's true. Tom got 2 entries.
There you go.
You need to get in Tom just for the week and have him be around and have golf takes.
I could do that. No one cares about the Masters. I do. No, so sadly the pool has gone away the last couple of years. But and I didn't even think of who I would do with that this year. I didn't even do a hypothetical one. So. I would have picked McElroy. I do think Tommy Fleetwood will show up and be at the end. But he's one under par, I think, right now. And I'm rooting for him to actually get his first win. But Rory's just too tough.
All right, Jake. Well, we'll let you go. Enjoy the weekend. Tell everybody I say hello, and make sure you grab those banquets.
Happer, is there any chance that Zumwalt is gone by the end of the weekend?
No, I don't think. No.
Right.
You're not going to bring in George Brett to try and fix things again.
Why not? Bring him in. Bring in George. He's ready to roll. Come on.
See you, Jake.
See you guys.
Jake Sorensen from the Ticket and Lincoln, who Doug in Idaho is saying he didn't even do his show this morning. Why would he? He's got us.
He's out there.
He's got us. Wonder what. So was it just Sipple and Bill? How'd that go? We'll have to check that out.
I'm
sure they got somebody to stand in.
Nick had.
It was like who's pressing the buttons? Okay. All right.
Somebody had to get it on track.
So yeah,
I do like the idea of Sipple hosting that show, though.
Me too.
There's almost no way they would have gotten to a sports topic in the first hour.
Yeah, would have been what do they call it? The idle chit chat.
It would have been a
A
lot of
idle chit chat. All right, we'll take a break. We will round things out next on a Friday on 1620 The Zone. All right. We'll send you into the weekend here on a Friday. Happer and Schaefer, 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com. One more reminder for you. Yes, the lawn makeover from Roberts Nursery Landscape and Lawn, the outdoor upgrade. We'll give you a shot at a $10,000 backyard makeover. $10,000 outdoor upgrade from Roberts Nursery Landscape and Lawn. You got to get over there to 1620thezone.com right now for your chance to win. Who wouldn't want that right around now?
This is your
Especially
last
if you
chance.
have a dirt lawn. I could use some of that.
You could certainly use some of that.
Yeah. But I don't believe I'm eligible for the prize.
Yeah, I already asked. I'm not, so I assume you aren't either.
Sad. Joey Leaks happened.
What?
Joey Leaks happened
What?
yesterday, and he has an NFL schedule prediction. Of course, the full schedule comes out
Did
on
someone
May
say
1st.
schedules?
We did. You've predicted all the standalone games for week 1 now. Yes, correct?
Not all the games, but all the standalone games, but
Standalone games for week 1.
Yeah.
So yesterday, the leak was Ravens and Bengals late afternoon, and Cowboys Commanders late afternoon, CBS and Fox respectively, obviously. And then today we have gone off the beaten path again for another standalone game. Of course, the NFL is going back to Rio this year. What do we know about this game so far?
the
Cowboys.
The Cowboys are the designated home team.
Okay. And Joey,
it's not going to be on a Friday like it was before.
okay, so it'll be on just regular old Sunday.
Yes, it will.
Joey is predicting that this game will be on Sunday night football on NBC. And Tarico will say live from Rio de Janeiro after Carrie
You think
Underwood.
Chris Collinsworth is going to fly down to Rio? for this?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, he's
Man.
going to be in his beach clothes.
Do you think Carrie Underwood will sing
A
In
Spanish
Portuguese?
version of it?
No, it's Portuguese.
Yeah, it'd be
Portuguese,
That's
yes.
right, Brazil.
Portuguese Sunday night? And it's the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Ravens.
Seems fitting because they already played the Ravens at home 2 years ago. So why not let
Can
those two
you-
teams travel to Brazil together?
You name the head coaches in this game.
Jesse Minter
That's one.
and not Mike McCarthy.
Not Mike McCarthy is correct, but not the name of the coach.
Also, Schottenheimer. He's a
You got
Schottenheimer.
it.
Bingo.
He's a
Brian
Schottenheimer.
Schottenheimer.
Brian Schottenheimer.
Very good.
You almost got me there, buddy.
I was like, he's not gonna do this.
You
I didn't think that you would have Jesse Minter. And
that was the one that was fresh in the
I was
mind.
like, okay, he's probably going to remember Schottenheimer, but I don't know if he'll get Jesse Minter.
I got Jesse
I don't know
Minter.
how much you paid attention to the coaching hires.
I have to get reacclimated with the new. I mean, Minter is a new head coach in the NFL.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's
No,
like
a lot of it is you have to your brain has to be like, okay, Atlanta went with
I know the names
Vegas
of
went with-
46 potential NFL
Sure,
coaches at
sure.
all times, but only if they have previously been NFL coaches.
only if there's retread opportunity.
And there usually is.
Like Pittsburgh Steelers coach.
Mike McCarthy.
There you go.
Somehow, some way, they hired
Hometown hero Mike McCarthy.
Mike Tomlin again.
Mike Tomlin again.
Mike Tomlin again.
Does that mean the Giants hired their Tom Coughlin again and John Harbaugh?
Oh yeah, great job by them.
He's not
I think
super
that's a
old.
good hire.
He's not super old though.
No, but just he was somewhere where the Jags just moved on from Coughlin.
Yeah.
They reached a level where they were ready to go with it. It's kind of what happened in Baltimore. Now he won a Super Bowl. Coughlin hadn't done that in Jacksonville,
No, he did not.
famously.
So the new ones this year. I mean, there's a bunch of new NFL head
Yeah.
coaches this year. You have Jesse
Can I try to
Minter.
name off as many as I can?
Go for it.
So you have Kevin Stefanski is in Atlanta.
I just mean new, never before NFL head
Oh,
coaches.
okay.
I believe
wait.
there's 4 of them.
Okay, so you said Jesse Minter.
Yes.
So Clint Kubiak.
Yes. Raiders.
The Browns coach. Who did that end up being?
That's Todd Monken.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so
okay.
that's-
I think there's another one too. Yeah.
So then there's 5 of them.
There, don't forget Jeff Halfley down
That's
at
one.
Miami.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then there's another one.
I'm trying to think of all the part of it is trying to remember all the jobs that open. Joe Brady is the head coach at Buffalo.
Do you remember who the Arizona
Yeah, I was
Cardinals
They hired LaFleur's.
Oh, Mike LaFleur.
Mike LaFleur. And then
His
there's
brother,
Joe,
right?
and then
Like,
there's
that's
Joe
his
Brady
brother?
as
Yeah.
well.
That's his brother.
So there's 6 first-time NFL head coaches.
10 coaches, 10 different NFL coaches, I think, this year from last.
Damn.
That's a third of the league.
Yeah. It's a huge year of turnover.
All right, there you go. That's what we get into on our final day of the week. Hopefully everybody enjoys the weekend and the weather stays at least okay.
It's going to be
around here,
raining.
but we will indeed find out. Enjoy the Masters on Sunday. One of the best naps of the year coming your way on Sunday. That'll do it for us today. If you missed anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. The Crossover with Matt is coming up next.
Bye.